crying all through. Believe me, if suicide was an option for me, I don't do that suicide. See, long time before now.
Suicide,
but it wasn't an option. Jesus Christ, I like this life. Even if I don't eat like one whole week, I like the life. I know that everything would actually get better. Everybody goes through that phase in life. Maybe mine was staying 3 days without eating. Yours might be you've never been at a point in your life where the only money in your account is 50k, and then you feel like 50k is too small, and then you want to take your life. For what? There are some people out, you don't know. There's some persons that we have 50,000 in their account. They say, Jesus, I'm broke. No, of course, people.
Of course,
you are laughing because you.
I understand my
don't
situation.
Let me watch you this night.
Don't
you
watch
understand your situation.
I understand my situation, and
the point we're trying to make here and right now is life comes in stages. Go with the stages, flow with the stages, and everything is not rosy. It's not every time you have everything you want. So there are times things might just go completely contrary to what you expect, completely different from what you expected, but it doesn't mean it won't get better. If you are of the Christian faith, God said how bad this world will become. Things will actually get worse than it is. Economy, war, insecurity, and the rest of it. We're all judging from what the Bible had said. But as an individual, I'm telling you, your life can only get better. So don't make suicide an option at any point in time. It is not an option. And please, if you know anybody that all of a sudden is keeping to themselves, is withdrawn, is going through difficulty, please, a smile or just going to check up on the person, know how the person is doing, talk to the person. It will go a very long way. Please do well if you notice anybody around you and you suspect something strange about their behavior. Like they described this man, he used to be huge, but all of a sudden he started trimming down and the rest of it. Please just try and reach out to the person. If it's a guy, you could just, if you know that this person doesn't have a job and something is going on, just be nice. Take the guy out, like, come, let's go and cut our hair. You've sorted out something for the guy, and at least you'll feel loved. If it's a lady, you can take her out, make her hair, just take her shopping, buy her all those little things she'll be needing. Just do something nice
and
for
if you hear of job
people like this.
Just relate to the person. I heard that this place is hiring. I heard that
some people will say no, that you'll go and take the job they want. Please don't be selfish with things like this.
Please,
we'll be back. We'll go on a short commercial. As soon as we get back, we'll head straight up to our business for today. It's Area Talk. I am Buchira Washi's Boluwati Fechegede. Do stay tuned.
FM 120 Soca Fiesta
is here.
I need that magic.
Is here.
Updates, yeah. Oh yeah, baby, see,
The Today FM 120 Soca Fiesta is here. 16 teams will be competing for first prize at the tournament is set to kick off on Wednesday, 11 December 2019. The opening fixture scheduled for 1 p.m. will see BK Vandal take on Oyoyo Superstars, while the second fixture of the day, billed for 4 p.m., will see SKE Development side tackles Lifeway FC. There will be 8 rounds of 16 matches on knockout basis until the final. 2 matches will be played per match day. Time, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. for all match days. Venue, all matches except the final and third place matches will be played at the Treasure FM football field, NTA premises, Umboba, Port Harcourt. The final will be played at the University of Port Harcourt Sports Complex.
Need that magic.
Come watch as Today FM discovers talent for Nigerian football.
Seasons Bonanza. We wish to share in the good cheer of the season by offering amazing discounts on advert campaign on our Signal, your premium talk, news and sports station. From the 5th of December to the 31st.
For every 3 slots you pay for, you get 2 free.
So hurry now and enjoy this best rates ever.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
Welcome back to Area Talk here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. I am Buchira for Ashi's Boluwatife. We're doing the program together with you. It's time for you to call in and tell us what's going on in your community, in your area. It's an eyewitness report show. So you call in and give us eyewitness reports on what's happening. And, for those living around that Mboba area where the gentleman hung himself, please, you can call in and share with us what you know about that particular story. And if there's any other story or anything happening in your community and basically nobody's saying anything about it, nobody's talking about it, please do well to call in and share with us. Now it's yellow tide season and so many persons are traveling. Students have traveled, families have traveled, and the area seems to be a bit quiet. I don't know about your area, but some places feel a bit quiet, more calmer than usual, and you cannot be too security conscious. So please do well, if you're still around, look out for the houses and apartments of your neighbors. If you see any strange movements, please blow the alarm and stay safe. And for those planning to travel, Nnamdi Omoni the other time said something. He said, please turn off all your appliances because you don't know what might happen and there might just be a spark and something happens from there. So please, if you're traveling, turn off all your appliances, secure your home properly, lock the doors, lock the windows, and be nice to your neighbor so your neighbor will not see someone looting your house and then they'll say, let them loot that shit. The guy is stubborn. Please. Yes. As a neighbor, please look out for your neighbor's home, whether they are around or not. Well, like I said, you cannot be too security conscious. But we'll be sharing the number with us.
So to call in, you call on 0817 0000951 and 0810951091. Once again, 0817 0000951 and 0810951091. Enter the WhatsApp portal. You can text your messages to 0701 9339 0701 962. All right, let's get your calls. Sorry for the calls I missed. Please do well to call back. Let's get your eyewitness reports. Meanwhile, in Omerelu, peace is reported to have been restored in the Omerelu community in the Ikwerre local government area, and this is according to the chairman, Community Development Committee, Ezekiel Wandikom, who said the peace was achieved with the efforts of stakeholders with the introduction of local vigilante in the area. Wandikom narrated how Omerelu became a den for criminals and center for cold clashes. Said the youth saw the need to embrace peace in the interest of the community. Take a listen to what Wandikom had to say.
In a condition that is unbearable. But today I can tell you that because our youth have understood themselves and they are taking care, they have decided not to join any back group in order not to destabilize Omerelu. So Omerelu is very
95.1 FM. Good evening. Ouch. Oops. Okay, we lost that particular call. We're waiting for your calls. We'd love to get your eyewitness reports. Tell us what's going on in your community, in your area, what's happening. Have you planned on buying rice? And what was if you don't plan on buying rice, because I heard rice is about 30-something thousand for some persons. If you don't plan on buying rice, what's the other option? Bolu, what other option would you pick?
What other option?
Cannot imagine Christmas without rice.
Yam.
What are you doing with yam on Christmas Day?
Yeah, man.
95.1 of them. Good evening.
Good evening, Buchi.
Welcome to Area Talk.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Buchi, I am calling you from Port Harcourt. My name is James.
Good to hear from you.
Yeah. I want to ask. The Ministry of Urban Development, are they in this Port Harcourt at all? Are they working? Did you know they are working at all?
What happened?
Ministry of Urban Development. My sister, if you come to Rubekin, gas line, sister, see people who have built under the line. Electric wire, people built
under where, like a high tension?
Yes, that high tension. One thing will happen, somebody will get tomorrow, they say, Ministry of Urban Development has gone to do. Now that thing has not happened. Why not they wake up? What is really happening in this river state? So urban development. What are their work? Go to that place, my sister. Sorry. Under the high tension. People build under the high tension. So that's my report to by tomorrow. When it will happen. Remember that one king from Rumeki have reported this matter to you. It will happen one day. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Love what people are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the program. Well, we also wonder what they're doing because clearly they've not been doing anything. And that's why we have the issue of flooding, people building wherever they feel like building.
Yeah.
I don't know who gives them the permission to do what they are doing, or if there's any plan or layout of how buildings are supposed to be, where you're supposed to build for River State.
Yeah, they should
I really
actually
can't
be up
tell.
and doing.
95.1 FM. Please turn off your listening device. Welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, Buchi.
Chima, it's good to hear from you. It's been a while.
Thank you very much. It's been a while, yes. Bolu, good evening. I've been sorry, I see an afternoon with you.
Hi, Chima. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Buchi, I am here to shout again. Because now I believe now it's dry season. There will be no excuse of it rain to disrupt maybe construction. I'm here to talk about Rumodogo community, the only community in River State that is here to have a motorable road that leads to the community. And I am praying that the government in their wisdom will help us to be able to at least the next rainy season, Rumodogo will be more trouble.
Chima, I'm sorry we lost you there, and we lost this call as well. Please do want to call back and let's get your full eyewitness report. But before we do that, we'll go on this other short commercial break. Don't worry, after the zone, we're not going on any short commercial break again. We'll be right back. Just stay tuned.
The Today
FM 120 Soca Fiesta
is here.
I need that magic.
Is here.
Updates, yeah. Oh yeah, baby, see I say.
The Today FM 120 Soca Fiesta is here. 16 teams will be competing for first prize at the tournament is set to kick off on Wednesday, 11th December 2019. The opening fixture scheduled for 1 p.m. will see BK Vandal take on Oyoyo Superstars, while the second fixture of the day, billed for 4 p.m., will see SKE Development side tackles Lifeway FC. There will be 8 round of 16 matches on knockout basis until the final. 2 matches will be played per match day. Time 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. for all match days. Venue: all matches except the final and third place matches will be played at the Treasure FM football field, NTA premises, Umboba, Port Harcourt. The final will be played at the University of Port Harcourt Sports Complex.
Need that magic.
Come watch as Today FM discovers talent for Nigerian football.
95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening to you, Buchan.
Good evening, Salo West. You're welcome.
I just want to condole with the man that actually took his life. But you see, a lot of psychological trauma, you know. A man who is healthy, you know, suddenly start going lean, you know. It might not be just only psychological, you know, complain that the wife is going out or the partner.
His lover,
going
partner,
out.
yeah.
Yes, you don't know whether you have infected that man with AIDS, you know, and when you have, yes, a lot of things. The man might go for test and let me just test myself. This one my wife is
going out
about, and it goes to and they say you are positive. You know that kind of thing. So the man thought that being a positive is the last. He will just go and that's why I advise every man, have somebody you have confidence with, that you can confine with anytime you are being depressed. You know, try to run to that person, share your view. You know, because if that man has a very good friend, you know, he wouldn't have hanged himself. I'm very sure, because the man will not tell him to go and even though you are not a Christian, you will still go to hellfire. So it's quite a pity, honestly,
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Salawes, for calling in there. I don't know
That's another perspective.
What you thought of HIV, of everything to think of. 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Yes, Buchi.
Good evening, Chima. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, Buchi, we are calling on the government. They should look at Rumodogo community. We have not committed any offense, and I believe that Rumodogo is within the jurisdiction of River State. That means we are part of River State. So therefore, we deserve what every other community in River State has been enjoying. Government should not be exceptional when you are trying to exhibit your project and everything. With the case of Rumodogo, we are seeing that that's exceptional. And I spoke about my school of thought because I saw that the government, when each and every one that becomes enter power, it encompasses everybody. Has to go around. You understand? When put any project. But with what we are seeing in River State, particularly, we are seeing that if your community does not have anybody who is in government, definitely nothing reaches you. That is the case of my community, Rumodogo. And we are begging the government, you cannot abandon a community that has the right of way, where most some multinational LNG precisely pays you a revenue that's from the same community, and you expect people to keep quiet. We cannot keep quiet. But however, Buchi, I know that in Emoha, we have political bigwigs who is very close to the governor and have refused to tell the governor or say anything regarding every other nearby community that is around them. But I am promising them that with or without them, a Rumodogo must have a road. With or without them. Most of them have roads that lead to even their kitchens and parlors. So they have decided to abandon every other community. They are so self-centered and selfish up to the end.
Chima, it's gone off again.
Yeah, but we got his message.
Yeah, I think we got your point there. Well, thank you so much for calling in. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Hello, Buchi, good evening.
Good evening to you, welcome.
Thank you. My name is Sonny. I'm calling you from Igrutale.
Sonny, you're welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Thank you, God bless you. Buchi, I want to inform you what we are passing through in Igrutale here. You know that in this Christmas, we're going to celebrate this Christmas without light.
Igrutale?
Yes, without light.
Okay.
The armed robber came to our transformer. They stole the cable. Cable. And that one, that NEPA says is going to cost us up to 1.8 million.
Oh my God.
The armored cable. So where do we run to? Who do we run to? So I don't know how I'm going to solve the situation in Igrutale. In this way, the water took over the part of Iguta from Iguta to Omwe. If you're coming from all the way from airport, the left hand from Iguta to Omwe flood over the one part of Iguta, and nobody has spoken. Nobody has visited Iguta, but we have a House of Reps member in Iguta, which we are suffering in this part of it. We don't know if Iguta is not part of River State or Ikodo land again. But this one, I say we should call 1.8 million naira. Where do we get?
Did they tell you guys to provide the money?
Yeah, they said we should provide the money. That when the committee met them at the headquarters last week, they said they have closed their border. That there's no how they can go and get the cable for now. That the people that used to supply cable for them, they cannot get it now. And now the government have closed border. So for that, anyhow, we can get the armored cable. I should go ahead and get it. I don't have any.
So they told you?
Yes, that is what they told us. So what do we do? Now we are trying to meet the people that contribute, even if you want 1,000, to know how much you're going to raise. But how many persons will pay that 1,000? Can we get that kind of money in this season for it to get a light? If we succeed paying it now, we will bring in the considering how much the community has
Okay,
spent,
see, we hope to have Mr. Onyi on the program. I don't know when exactly, but we look forward to having him on the program. I would really urge that you call in the day he comes here.
No problem. I used to follow your program for morning to night. Anytime I get a opportunity, I will call. Thank you very much.
Okay, please do well. Thank you so much for calling in. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Hello, Uchi.
Hello, good evening. Well, Brahma, I say you go don't travel for Christmas, so.
No, I don't.
Hi, Brahma. Good evening.
How is it?
I'm fine. You'll see as you're sounding cool.
No rain now.
Nah, I don't know. Uchi. I'm talking about my road model.
Yeah.
Uchi, very surprising. So I thought by now, at least I have seen all government in my community. But those now, I have never seen any single something. Even somebody to ask ourselves, how far down the road, we have never seen anything about this hour. But I am begging them, let them not forget this community. As this racism, let them help us. Because we cannot continue so far, this guy suffer. We suffer last year. Let them not allow us. We are begging them. Let the government not allow us to suffer what we suffer last year. I am begging them. I am using the God name, Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit. I am begging them. I am begging the commissioner. I am begging the governor. I am begging the local government chairman. I am begging all the authorities who know what they will do to survive this room for this suffer. And I know that any person who try to do this road for us, God will not allow them. God will bless that person more and more. I am begging them because our cry is too much. Our cry is too much. Let them help us. Everybody, they cry about this road. No matter they are not hearing their voice. But man, women, youth, everybody is crying about this road. Let them come and help us. I am begging.
All right.
I am begging. I am here now. You know, sometimes the team tire me. I am crying. I am crying in spirit because of this road. I pray. Let God touch them. Let God touch them. Let them come and do this road. We are not begging them. They are money. We don't.
The local government chairman, he said he was going to work on your town hall, right?
I never had that one. No, that is only that very the way he say it. I never had.
Okay, so nothing has been done in your town hall.
I never see anything there. I never see anything.
So even the schools,
schools have nothing.
Even the school now, this in a school will close. Let them help us and we'll go and room the room for that school where I maybe abandoned. Let them come and help us to see that our children will go back to school. Yeah, I am begging.
All right.
I'm still talking about the light at the room. This is how many days that we have never seen light. I am begging them. The authorities, I know they are trying. So several times they are trying. But this time around, this is the time of heat. Come because the time when we don't see light again. It's not easy. Let them help us. This is the time we need the light because this is dry season where everybody needs fan to blow, everything. I am begging them.
All right.
I am begging the authorities. Anything will happen, let them try to make sure that they give us light.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Iwaburama, for calling in and sharing your eyewitness report with us. Starting from the federal to the state and then to a particular school. Start with the federal government when they said that the December 31, 2019 deadline to weed the nation's classroom of unqualified teachers remains sacrosanct. So the government said at the end of the deadline, which comes into effect in 3 weeks' time, teachers without the requisite teaching qualifications will be disengaged from service. The government, however, did not give the number of teachers that would be affected. But it also revealed that teachers without the License of Teachers Registration Council, that's TRCN, will not be henceforth employed in any teachers recruitment exercises embarked upon by the government. I'm sure this might not be part of the requisites for those that will get disengaged. But away from what the federal government had to say to what is happening in River State currently, I'm sure this is no news for you anymore, for those that already are aware. And if you're not aware, the River State governor, that's Nyesom Wike, has approved the inclusion of 2,673 retirees in the monthly pension payment scheme of the state government. Now, this decision was taken following the completion of the biometric data capture of pensioners in the states. Don't forget when they were asked to go for their biometric data capture. Well, I guess for some that completed theirs, about 2,673 retirees of them rather have been included into the pension scheme. Now, the figure is an addition to the already 5,400 pensioners receiving monthly pensions from the state government. The statement was issued as on Sunday by the River State Pension Board and signed by its Director General Ijoma Samuel. It said the approval could not have come at a better time. Well, 2,673, and it makes me wonder how many pensioners went to for their biometric data, that they're including 2,000. It's a good thing, but if you ask me, with the number of persons complaining about this issue of pension not being a part of the pension payment scheme and the rest, I just wonder if 2,673 is enough. But I think it's something we should commend the River State government for this number of persons that are being included into the pension scheme.
I think it was stated that those were the number of people that actually went for the registration.
Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I really can't say regards that particular one.
Yeah, but according to the news that you read, it said that
that's all the number of persons that completed their biometric. Okay. Oh, well.
So it's not their fault if some other people didn't go and finish the biometric.
Okay. I hope an opportunity is being opened for others that weren't able to go for their capturing. But if you are part of those that went for their biometric and you know you completed it, but you're not part of the 2,000 plus persons that were just included into the pension scheme, please, you could just call into the program and let's hear from you. Now, to a school in Delta State, some of the pupils at the Zappa Secondary School in Asaba, the Delta State capital, have launched an attack on a male teacher after allegedly taking hard drugs. So the Punch is able to gather that the pupils who completed their first term examination on Friday attacked the teacher while he was on his way home. The teacher, according to an eyewitness, was rushed to the Federal Medical Care Center for treatment as he suffered a broken forehead. It was learned that cops from the A Division Police Station were immediately alerted and they arrested some of the pupils on the school premises. Efforts to reach the police public relation officer by the Punch Onome were not very successful, as several calls was put across to her mobile phone rather, but they were not answered. So it was said that an activist, that's Mr. Victor Oj, was that's a teacher. He rushed to the scene of the incident. He said hard drugs had caused a lot of damage to some secondary pupils in the states. Pardon me, this is just an activist, not the teacher himself that was attacked. But then I just wonder what that teacher would have done to those students would make them plan him like this.
Maybe one time or the other he has said something that has implicated them or had made their teachers to beat them.
Now, how were they able to access hard drugs?
That we don't know. Might have taken a whole lot of understudying and observation to do that.
Understanding and observation. And I'm sure they had the chance to do all that, but they needed something to influence them. See the bad side of all these hard drugs. Well, my own question and problem now is how students, secondary school students, were able to access it. I'm sure some of you will say, but why are you asking? Is that a question? Are you not in Nigeria? But as much as you would want to see it as a normal thing, it is not normal. And I think our security agents need to answer some questions regarding how the children were able to access things like this. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
My name is Peter, calling from Port Harcourt.
Peter, it's good to hear from you today.
Thank you. I want to talk about National Union of Road Transport Workers.
Okay.
We discovered that belonging to a union is not compulsory. You see, everybody have right to belong to any union, like. But this National Union of Road Transport Workers made it compulsory that everybody must belong to them.
All drivers?
Yes. Constitutionally, it's not supposed to be. If you don't belong to them, you don't pay anything to them. Now, this harmonization of tax that the state governments have made, it's like, if I should say, I would have said somebody should learn how to be a governor before you become.
Hello. It's still on to Area Talk on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. It's an Eyewitness Report show. Let's get your Eyewitness Reports. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's calling from Ruma Holly.
It's good to hear from you today. Go ahead.
Long time. I know I call last week, sir.
All right, go ahead.
My area talk. South Road for traffic is clear. Our normal South Road junction there, which is normally crowded, is free now. So anybody that want to divert towards that side can come. The area is clear and free. So there's no issues, no challenges. In short, here is the most peaceful area than GRSF. So anybody that wants to.
I don't know what's happening to the line. Before
Everything is just cutting off.
Everything just goes off like this. I'm sorry about that. Please just keep trying to call in and let's see how many calls we can take before we wrap up the program.
All right, so to call in, you call on 0817 0000951 and 0810 951 0951. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening.
My name is Hero.
Your name is?
Hero. I'm a Hero by name.
Oh, hi, good evening.
The issue is that because of all the road safety, so we need to take back because of
Sorry, please, can you speak up? We can barely hear you.
Okay. So the main issue now is, please begging, bad boys, they are around, blocking roads. What I'm trying to say is that they kidnapped my wife and they slept with my wife. So government should try and...
Hero.
They kidnapped your wife and slept with her.
In front of you.
In front of you?
Yeah.
When and where and how?
Wow. When did that happen? You said?
Almost
what?
2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
So could you just explain to us how it all happened?
Yeah, where, when, how?
So that was like 8 road. So because of those things, they are doing just to prepare you.
Hero, speak up so we can hear you very well.
Can you hear me?
You need to do better so we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
But go ahead.
So don't take my wife and take her inside. She has to bring out money. I say I'm not with money unless they will permit me to go and withdraw money. Stay with my wife. What I'm trying to say is that don't take a short of time. Can't wait for no one. I'm very hungry.
What does road safety have to do with this, please?
Because of them, we need to take the wrong place. If they normally don't, so
what are
bad boys around?
So you are the one that took the other route where the bad boys were. because you were trying to dodge road safety on the major road you're supposed to take.
Yes.
What were road safety doing that you were trying to dodge them?
Because of all the planes that scatter every, so car cannot pass there.
Scatter everywhere. How? The road?
The road.
It's bad. That one is not road safety now. Is it road safety that is working on road?
Most of them, they are the ones that are working that place. They are giving them money and they eat the money. See now, look at the time they are working. They know that people, they will travel out and, it's the bad time.
Okay. All right, Tira, I'm so sorry about what happened to your wife. I really feel terrible for her. I can imagine what happened there. I'm so sorry for what happened.
Yeah, very sorry.
But please, next time, when you know that, just try and stick to the right road. No matter how long it takes, you still get to where you're going to save ourselves from all these unnecessary occurrences. Well, you cannot start regretting now. It's happened. Just for next time. And for others that like to take shortcuts. I remember at one particular point in time when some person is going to Owerri, there's this other shortcuts they usually take where they get with it along the road. And well, I'm sure they noticed what was happening and then they stopped. So please, if you know that a particular road is usually lonely and it's not a major road, if you're traveling, please stick to the major highway. You cannot be too security conscious, like I said earlier. Stick to the major road and avoid cutting corners. 95.1 FM, good evening.
Good evening, Gucci.
Good evening to you, welcome.
Kingsley Good, Anero from Oba in Echeland.
Kingsley, it's a pleasure to hear from you. Welcome.
You can see now that the prices are steady. And I'm begging the government chairman, Mr. Odin Nanyawu, to help us now. This is the best time he can help us. If really that the government now is autonomous financially, I would expect it to do something in Oba Road. We are in trouble here. We are in trouble.
Why?
I didn't know. If only to great road, only to build.
You said if really local governments are autonomous when it comes to managing their fund, are they not?
I think that is true.
So why do you say you are in trouble?
I mean, let him do something for us. For us to know that they are autonomous. For us to know. Because if nothing is done in Uber land, I don't even know if they are autonomous financially. We are in trouble. There is no road to connect to Uber. And what is Uber? I'm telling you, is a very nice riverside community. Harboring many strangers. If you call here, say, our police will compete with the strangers. But there's no access to communicate with other communities. And we are begging. I'm just begging. Please.
All right. All right then.
Now I'm hearing about 2,000 are included in the pension road.
Yeah.
That is good, but I'm saying let's be done seriously. There's no need jumping a year to pick other people. That is wrong.
Okay.
So if they can do it seriously, that is good. Because many people is just lying, waiting for their pension for many years.
All right. Thank you so much. I don't know how they did the listing or how they did the picking.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, if you've gone for your biometric data capture and your name wasn't part of the 2,000 and something names.
People.
Yeah. Please do also call in and let's hear from you. Good evening. Hello, welcome.
Gucci.
Yeah, turn off your listening device.
Hi, good evening.
I think today
Yeah.
I won't quote any Bible. I won't quote the Bible today. I'll just go to the point. But you mentioned Jesus Christ today. That's enough. Oh, Gucci. Because of time, quickly. Yeah, you have to question how did those boys access those drugs. Our security people, our security agencies, anyone at all you can think of. Everybody's mind is now on securing politicians and oil companies. You don't mind whatever is going on. They are not making anything. See, that girl you said was started enjoying what 50-year-old man started enjoying.
she started somewhere. Like they said, you are going to dance all night. I started the dance by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. What will you do when you get to 12? You'll be tired. So, our security should also know the kind of exposure children are exposed to, especially from school. I come back one day, I was somewhere one day where they are selling some of this music on the open space. Children come from primary school and they are watching pornographic material. Nobody stopped them. They just ran and this one is fighting and this. It's not good. You have to drive them away. Or the person who said this kind of things should set them secretly. So that those who are adults above 18, they can ask for the thing that's not exploding it on the table where everything can have its passing.
Okay.
Their minds can be captured and they start doing what they call it money and daddy. Then see on area talk, I'm still saying that government should go and stop this oil bunkering. The smoke is fast going to the air. It's going to descend back as a soot, affect you and me, God forbid. Affect rich man also. Some people are making money, some people will die out of that money. Let police not collect their share, and not collect their share. And then if they need to pay their share, they burn the thing and the smoke will go up and come back as soot. Then, our chairman, we should try and cover one part of that thing in the arches so that people who are traveling from Port Harcourt can access the other lane. I heard the local government chairman has done his own meeting to about 4 places. Why is a chairman not turning his blind eye to that place, that midlane? It's a very big calling. Now it's dry season. Those days when we are small, something like this local government will now bring us grader. They will grade all the internal roads, grade all the people are for Christmas.
All right.
Now nobody's doing anything.
All right.
So finally, there's a place called Hausa Quarter in Ahoda. A lot of evil is going on there.
Okay, B.O.B., please, I beg and plead that you call back tomorrow to give us the details of that place called Hausa Quarter, like you were going to say. The final words, please, we have to go.
All right, let us be careful. Basically, let us be careful, and when you see that somewhere is lonely, and especially this period, make sure that you don't go through a lonely route or a lonely path where you know that things can happen to you. So let us keep ourselves out of trouble and be safe.
All right, thank you so much for doing Area Talk with us. I am Buchira Fwa, and you just heard from Buluwati Fechagede. Stay happy, stay safe, and do the right thing always. Stay tuned. The news update is up next. Good evening.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port.
Very good evening to you. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Koko Greg. The Senate has said it will not declare the seat of its convicted Chief Whip Orji Uzokalu vacant. The Senate spokesperson Godia Akwashiki disclosed this to newsmen over the weekend. Akwashike said no provision in the Nigerian constitution says the seat of a senator facing prosecution or convicted at a lower court could be declared vacant. He added that Kalu's seat will not be declared vacant until he has explored all the legal options available to him without success. The Federal High Court in Lagos on Thursday sentenced Kalu to 12 years in prison after convicting him of 7.6 billion naira fraud. Meanwhile, the zonal head of EFCC Port Harcourt, Abdul Rashid Bawa, has insisted that the Economic and Financial Crime Commission has always operated within the rule of law in the fight against corruption. Addressing newsmen during the anti-corruption walk in Port Harcourt, Bawa said the EFCC has over 90% success rate in all the cases instituted in court across the zone. Bawa, who commended the Rivers government for aligning with the efforts of the commission, said the EFCC will remain a law-abiding institution.
Argument that corruption is the bane of development of nations. So it is encouraging that Rivers State Governor is, and of course, the government of Rivers State in general is aligning with the fact that we must do something about what corruption. We are also happy to the fact that he mentioned it publicly that no member of the Executive Council that is corrupt will have a place in his own cabinet, which is a welcome development. EFCC is the creation of the law. There is no organization that I'm aware that is working in Nigerian courts than the EFCC. We are prosecuting cases in court, particularly in relation to our mandate, more than any other organization in this country. We have 98 to 99% success rate of all the cases that we have taken to court.
Governor Nyesom Wike has told the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, that the government and people of Rivers State would support the fight against corruption. Governor Wike said this when he joined the EFCC, civil society organizations, and other anti-corruption organizations for an anti-corruption walk in Port Harcourt to mark the 2019 edition of the Anti-Corruption Day. The governor cautioned that the EFCC must ensure its actions are done within the ambit of the law, as the Rivers State government would not support any action outside the law. He also noted that the EFCC was a creation of the law and derives its authority from the law, so fighting corruption outside the ambit of the law is in itself corruption. A correspondent reports that the walk, which started from the EFCC headquarters in the old GRA part of Port Harcourt, went through to the Mile 1 flyover to the Rumuwoji market. The 9th of December every year is a day set aside by the United Nations to mark the International Anti-Corruption Day. The Rivers State government has opened prosecution in the murder charge against suspected serial killer Gracious David West, with 3 witnesses cross-examined before the State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt. The first witness, Chibo Ebeke, who is the manager of a hotel in Oyibo area, told the court that David West checked into the hotel room 313 as a military officer with a fake name Kachi Tom Jonah. Ebeke said the suspected serial killer was later seen with a lady who was identified as Linda Samuel and was found dead. The second witness, who gave his name as John Iyanga, who is the manager of a hotel within Old GRA, told the court that they discovered a dead lady with her hands and legs tied with white material inside the hotel room where Gracious David West had lodged. Also responding to cross-examination, Nyeche Sabinus, who is the manager of a hotel within D-Line Port Harcourt, told the court that David West went out and returned with a lady who was later found dead inside the room the next morning. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, the prosecution counsel, Chidi Eke, disclosed that the state government may not cross-examine all the witnesses based on the quality of evidence given so far.
We are come to open our case of the prosecution against Gracious David West, the serial killer that was arrested in connection with the killings of young ladies in hotel in Port Harcourt and outside Port Harcourt. We commenced our case today by calling 3 witnesses to show that we are ready to prosecute the matter to its logical conclusion. All our witnesses were in court. There's one that is also here, couldn't take the 4th one, but 3 witnesses brought today came and testified, and all of them are managers of various hotels. Those things, the incident took place, and they were equally cross-examined, so we are done with them. The matter has been adjourned again to the next date, which is the 11th of this month, for us to call further witnesses in the matter. What the law requires, not that we should call a community of witnesses, but to call relevant witnesses that can help us establish our case. So if I call 3 or 4 more witnesses, and I know that I proved all the elements of the offense of murder, in those instances, I'll end it at that point and call the
On his part, counsel to the accused, Vincent Chukwu, emphasized on the importance of thorough cross-examination of the witnesses.
The trial has commenced, and we've been able to take up the 3 witnesses of the prosecution. They have been taken and discharged. We are done with the 3 for now yet. The witness must be cross-examined. They have to further proof of the facts they have stated before the court. They must be thoroughly examined as to know the veracity of it, and that is why it is a court.
A correspondent Uchendu Ejowo reports that the trial judge, Justice Adolphus Enebeli, adjourned till 11th of December 2019 for continuation of cross-examination of witnesses. President Muhammadu Buhari has named Muhammad Nami as the new chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. A tax consultant and graduate of Ahmadu Bello University, Nami replaces Tunde Fowler, whose tenure expired today. The newly appointed FIRS boss is said to be well-trained tax, accounting and management professional with highly rated qualifications and professional practice and licenses from relevant professional bodies. Presidential spokesman Garba Shehu said Nami also has almost 3 decades of practical work experiences in auditing, tax management and advisory and management services to clients in the banking, manufacturing, services and public sectors, as well as non-profit organizations. On the foreign scene, Tanzanian President John Magufuli has ordered that around 5,500 inmates be freed from Tanzania's overcrowded prisons at a ceremony to mark the anniversary of the country's independence from colonial rule. President Magufuli, who has publicly expressed both sympathy and derision for the country's prison population, announced the mass pardon at an event marking Tanzania's National Day. Magufuli, who came into power in 2015 as a corruption-fighting man, has toured overcrowding prisons in the past and ordered authorities to free those being held for long stretches without trial. The government says Tanzania's current prison population is around 36,000, with some facilities considerably over capacity. And that's all we have for you on the news update. Up next is the world news. I am Kuku Greg. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
You're welcome to the program. Let's talk. Flood has become a major issue in our society. Was there no proper drainage done for this flood? For this flood to be done? And it gets me thinking.
You see how difficult it is for them. Not all hosts know about the game. Hello and welcome to your number 1 news and talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM. We've got loads of news and gossip for you, but first off, let's go on a commercial break.
Radio has never been this good. Today,
glad you know now.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the name is the one who made the public know about.
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your Premium Talk Radio station, Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
This is Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt, Voice of the People, and it is time again for a rundown of the foreign news stories that made the headlines in the world today. In our package tonight, South Sudan's parliamentary speaker resigns after lawmakers threatened to impeach him.
FBI says it is treating Friday's deadly attack on Florida's Navy base as presumed terrorist attack.
Volcano eruption in New Zealand leaves 5 dead and several unaccounted for.
And Sana Marine set to become world's youngest age 34. I'm Rafwan.
And I am Kuku Greg. South Sudan's parliamentary speaker has resigned after lawmakers threatened to impeach him for blocking efforts to fight corruption and mismanagement. Anthony Makana was accused of failing to present anti-corruption reports to parliament and blocking lawmakers from summoning ministers for questioning.
Members of parliament accused him of also approving a loan of $400 million without approval of the House as recommended by law. The MPs in a motion demanded for his resignation. South Sudan got her independence in 2011 and has since been struggling with corruption.
And to South Africa, where Miss South Africa was crowned Miss Universe in Atlanta. 26-year-old Zozibini Tunzi came first ahead of the Puerto Rican and Mexican finalists. Tunzi beat more than 90 contestants from around the globe in the 68th Miss Universe, which was held in Atlanta's Tyler Perry studio.
The show was hosted by American comic turned TV personality Steve Harvey. And now over to Tanzania, President John Magufuli has ordered that around 5,500 inmates be freed from Tanzania's overcrowded prison at a ceremony to mark the anniversary of the country's independence from colonial rule. And President Magufuli, who has publicly expressed both sympathy and derision for the country's prison population, announced the mass pardon at an event marking Tanzania's National Day.
Magufuli, who came to power in 2015 as a corruption-fighting man, has toured overcrowded prisons in the past and ordered authorities to free those being held for long stretches without trial. The government says Tanzania's current prison population is around 36,000, with some facilities considerably over capacity.
Now, away from Africa to the rest of the world, in the U.S., the FBI says it is treating Friday's deadly attack on the Florida Navy base as a presumed terrorist attack. The Saudi gunman, who was training at the Pensacola site, killed 3 sailors before he was shot dead.
Special Agent Rachel Rogers said the FBI was trying to determine if he had acted alone or had connections to a group. She said other Saudi students had been questioned but not arrested. They were reportedly confined to the base and cooperating with investigators.
The victims of the attack have been named as Joshua Watson, Mohammed Haitham, and Cameron Walters. However, she said 21-year-old Mohammed Al-Shamrani bought his weapon illegally in the U.S. According to an anonymous briefing, it has been reported in U.S. media that Al-Shamrani played mass shooting videos to others at a dinner earlier in the week.
And now to England, a serial rapist who carried out the string of sex attacks on 11 women and children across England has been sentenced to 33 years in prison. Joseph McCann's victims were aged between 11 and 71 and included 3 women who were abducted off the streets at knife point and repeatedly raped. He was found guilty of 37 offenses. The convicted burglar has been released from prison following a probation error in February before he embarked on a cocaine and vodka-filled rampage.
A 34-year-old spree of sex attacks started in Watford in April before he moved to London, Greater Manchester and Cheshire over a 2-week period. Now in Russia could face an unprecedented 4-year ban from major international sporting events over accusations that it manipulated laboratory drug data. The decision will be made at a meeting of the World Anti-Doping Agency in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Russia could be banned from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. It could also be ruled out of the 2022 Football World Cup in Qatar. The country's sports minister refused to comment ahead of the ruling.
And now to New Zealand, where a volcano has erupted in New Zealand, leaving 5 dead and several unaccounted for. Tourists were seen walking inside the crater of White Island volcano just moments before the eruption. According to police, 23 people had been rescued, with the New Zealand military now helping the police. In a police briefing, Deputy Police Commissioner John Timms said due to the risks, emergency services were not able to access the island. It is unclear how many people are still on the island, with a previous report by the police that fewer than 50 people were on the island.
Now over to Finland, Sanna Marin is set to become the world's youngest prime minister at the age of 34 with a woman-led coalition government. The transportation minister was picked by her Social Democratic Party to take charge after Prime Minister Antti Rinne quit. She's expected to be sworn in this week. She will lead a centre-left coalition of 5 parties, all headed by women. Rinne has stepped down after losing the confidence of a coalition member over his handing of a postal strike.
A senior Chinese official has said that all of the people sent to detention centers in the western region of Xinjiang have now been released. Regional government chairman Shurat Zakir told reporters that those held in what Beijing say are re-education camps and now graduated. Rights groups say the camps are actually high-security prisons holding hundreds of thousands of Muslims. Beijing has always denied this despite the prevalence of high-security features like watchtowers and razor wire and leaked documents detailing how inmates at the so-called centers are locked up, indoctrinated and punished.
And in Saudi Arabia, restaurants and cafes are no longer required to have gender-segregated entrances. Over the years, the eateries have required one entrance for single men and another for women and families. The Ministry of Municipalities and Rural Affairs revealed on Twitter that it was eliminating several requirements for restaurants, including the need for an entrance for bachelors and a separate entrance for families.
It was unclear whether a restriction on seating pattern inside restaurants will also be removed. The latest reform was hailed by young Saudis but dismissed by ARC conservatives on social media, saying it went against Islamic law. Prince Mohammed has clipped the powers of hardline clerics as he pursues a modernization drive that has allowed mixed-gender music concerts and ended decades-long bans on cinemas and women drivers.
Until 3 years ago, the religious police elicited widespread fear in the kingdom, chasing men and women out of malls to pray and berating anyone seen mingling with the opposite sex. But the reforms have been accompanied by a clampdown on activists, including women urging faster reform, some of whom have accused interrogators of sexual harassment and torture. Saudi prosecutors have, however, denied the accusations.
And now to India. India's government has tabled a bill in parliament which offers amnesty to non-Muslim illegal immigrants from 3 neighboring countries. The controversial bill seeks to provide citizenship to religious minorities in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. The government is led by Hindu nationalist Bharatiya Janata Party, which says this will give sanctuary to people fleeing religious persecution.
Critics say the bill is part of a BJP agenda to marginalize Muslims. The bill has already prompted widespread protests in the northeast of the country, which borders Bangladesh, as people there feel that they will be overrun by immigrants from across the border.
And now to Pakistan. A paramedic in Pakistan has been arrested after allegedly stealing a baby to give to her childless aunt. The little girl was taken shortly after birth from a hospital in Balochistan in the southwest of the country.
The family was initially unaware of her disappearance as no one revealed her mother had given birth to twins. Abdul Hamid had taken the mother-to-be, Jamila Bibi, to the hospital in Loralai. He told police that after delivery, Bibi's family was handed one little girl and told to take the patient home as she was doing fine. However, Bibi remained in a semi-conscious state for the next couple of days, during which time the twin she had returned home with died.
A summary of foreign news stories that made the headlines. South Sudan's parliamentary speaker has resigned after fellow lawmakers threatened to impeach him.
An FBI said it is treating Friday's deadly attack on Florida's Navy base as a presumed terrorist attack.
A volcano eruption in New Zealand has left 5 dead and several unaccounted for.
And Sanna Marin is set to become the world's youngest prime minister at the age of 34.
That story from Pakistan concludes tonight's edition of The World Today, as produced by Ifunaya Obemen-Dukwe of the news department.
Till same time tomorrow, do have a lovely evening. I am Buchi Rafwa.
And I am Kuku Greg. Good evening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Today 95.1 FM.
Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ifeanyi. I'm calling you from. Hello?
Yes, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
My name is William. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, William from Port Harcourt. Go ahead.
Talk radio.
You have a right to say no, right? All
I'm
right.
calling from Unipua.
Okay, thank you so much from Unagua.
We are the station that needs no introduction. Of course, you know. We news, sports,
You like football, right?
entertainment, politics. In fact, call it talk.
Yes, we know there's a lot you want to hear, and that is why we talk about everything.
Talk radio.
We're right before you. It's just a dial away. This is your number one premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM, voice of the people.
Are you in search of a place to do all your audio recordings? From jingle, documentaries, church messages, and lots more.
Are you in search of a platform to give your business maximum exposure? Look no further. Come advertise with Today FM. With our unbeatable reach, we'll give your business the boost it so dearly needs. Visit us now at number 1 Today FM Drive off East West Road, Rumekini, Port Harcourt. Whatever the business is, we'll give it a voice.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
It's that time on radio. Let's take you into the life and times of men and women who inspire, role models who have shaped the world.
He was known as the doctor of hypertension. Now, he was neither a professional doctor, and he did have an inkling as how to treat hypertension, but from far and wide, that name stuck. The doctor of hypertension. But he's basically known as Chief Stephen Osita Osadebe, born in March 1936. I'll tell you a little bit about Osadebe. He was born in the Igbo town of Aptani in Anambra State. He came from a line of singers and dancers. Now, we're not surprised to hear that. His genre was high life, encompassed Igbo musical elements. It was in high life school years in Onitsha, a major commercial city near Atani, that Osadebe grew interested in music. Osadebe started his career performing at nightclubs in Lagos in the southwestern region of Nigeria, and from there he gradually worked his way up to releasing his first album in 1958. In Korea, Osadebe went on to work over 500 songs. Half of the songs were released commercially. He had been a part of the Empire Rhythm Orchestra led by E.C. Arinze, in which he had learned much of his music skills. As he became better established, Osadebe's style matured to include social commentary, similar to, but not as confrontational as Fela Kuti. Personal trials and tribulations were usually the main topic of his commentaries. Following the Nigerian Civil War in the late 60s, the massive exodus of the eastern people of Nigeria, especially the Igbo, out of western Nigeria, had caused the death of the high life's prominence in the then capital, Lagos. During the war and after the war, Osadebe maintained his scheduled live performances. After turning 50 in 1986, Osadebe started to give priority to fatherhood and gave more of his time to his son, Obiora, and his other children from his wives. Osita, Osadebe's last revered album, is Kedu America. Osadebe's musical growth grew from calypso, samba, bolero, rumba, jazz, waltz, all of which are the core formative elements of high life music in its rustic form. And in that trend, in 1984, Osadebe struck gold with his hit album Osondi Owendi, which was his most popular hit. But in 1960, he took everyone by surprise when he left music and became a student in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, USSR. He studied trade union and finished in 1962 as one of the national trade unions. Osadebe had so many awards to his name, which which included National Honor of Office of the Order of the Niger, OON, and so many others. In 2007, he flew to the United States for a medical checkup, and he was later placed on admission for respiratory illness. Relatives will care for him for months. On the 11th of May 2007, he breathed his last at the St. Mary's Hospital, Waterbury. He was 71 and had suffered from severe respiratory problems. Most people say he died from lung failure, leaving behind 5 wives and 7 children, many of whom are based in the United States. He was buried on the 8th of February 2008.
A Sunday, a Wendy.
Personality profile. Now you know.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
It's that time on radio. Let's take you into the life and times of men and women who inspire, role models who have shaped the world.
Ambrose Folorunsho Ali, born 22nd September 1929, died 22nd September 1989. Ambrose Folorunsho Ali was a Nigerian medical professor who served as executive governor of the defunct Bendel State, now the states of Edo and Delta, between 1979 and 1989. Ambrose Ali was born in Idoani, Ondo State, on 22nd September 1929. In his childhood, he moved between Okaudo, Ekpoma, Owo, Efon-Alaye, Benin City, and Asaba, where he completed his secondary education in 1948. He attended the School of Agriculture, Ibadan, and the School of Medical Technology at Doyo Hospital, Ibadan, where he gained an MBBS. He served as a house officer at the Adeoyo Hospital from 1960 to 1961. He went to the United Kingdom for a postgraduate course in neuropathology at the University of London from 1961 to 1966, gaining a DC pathology degree. Later, he studied at the University of Birmingham from 1971 to 1972. He was a lecturer at the University of Ibadan from 1966 to 1969 and was senior lecturer at the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria from 1969 to 1974. From 1974 to 1979, Ambrose Ali was professor of morbid anatomy and head of the Department of Pathology at the University of Benin, Benin City. Following his academic posts, he was elected the governor of Bendel State and later founded Bendel State University, now Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. Many campuses in Ekpoma, Abraka, and Asaba were established during his tenure. However, with the creation of Delta State by the administration of General Babangida, the university became 2 universities, namely Delta State University, Abraka, and Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, posthumously named after him. Ambrose Ali was a member of the Constituent Assembly that drafted the 1978 Nigeria Constitution. He joined the Unity Party of Nigeria, UPN, and ran successfully as UPN candidate in the Bendel State governorship election of 1979. He brought massive development to Bendel State in different sectors, from the establishment of numerous post-primary and tertiary institutions and massive construction of roads and housing. His main thrust as governor was to increase educational opportunities. He established over 600 new secondary schools and abolished secondary school fees. Apart from the establishment of the university, he also established various colleges of education in Ekiadolo near Benin City, Warri, Ozoro, and Abo, and 3 polytechnics with a College of Agriculture and Fishery proposed for Agenabode. He also established 4 teachers' training colleges to supply staff to the new schools, as well as several other higher educational institutions. In 1981, he laid the foundation of the Bendel State University, which is now named the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. Other reforms included abolishing charges for services and drugs at state-owned hospitals and eliminating the flat rate tax. His administration carried out massive construction of roads to open up the rural areas. In the housing sector, he built low-cost housing estates in Ubowo, Ipoba Hill in Benin City, and Bendel Estates in Warri. As governor, he always wore sandals, joking that he was so busy working in Government House that he never had time to buy shoes for himself. When Ambrose Ali left office in 1983, he retired to his family house. After the military government of Major General Muhammadu Buhari took power, he was sentenced to 100 years in prison by a military tribunal for allegedly misappropriating 983,000 naira in funds for a road project. He was later freed when the Asama of Benin, Chief Gabriel Ibenedion, paid a fine to the government. He finally got released from the prison after the fine amount of 1 million naira was remitted by Chief Ibenedion. After the release, he was hosted by Sir Chief Dr. Ezekiel A. Ainabe. Local Government Council Ekpoma honored Professor Ali by launching his statue. In order to pay respect and for the service rendered to the community, Dr. Ezekiel A. Ainabe erected a statue at the market square in Egware, Ekpoma. Shortly after being released from prison, Ambrose Folorunsho Ali died on his 60th birthday on 22nd September 1989 at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital in Lagos. Professor Ali sacrificed his life for the people of Nigeria.
Personality profile. Now you know.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Never gave her much attention. I thought she was in love, she wouldn't dare leave me. But now the day has come and I'm alone. Oh, how I wish that you were back with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Forgive and forget, love. Oh, yeah. Forgive and forget. You. I took up for granted all the time. I never gave her much attention. I thought she was in love, she wouldn't dare leave me. But now the day has come and I'm alone. Oh, how I wish that you were back with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since she's gone, I've been waiting by the window. I regret the time I let her go. 'Cause every time I hear the phone ringing loud, how I wish my baby's telling me he's coming back. So darling, forgive me and forget. I know I've done you wrong and now I regret. 'Cause I need you by my side every minute of the night. I'll never ever give you up to anyone. Hey, yeah, yeah. Ooh, forgive and forget, love. Oh, yeah. I took her for granted all the time. I never gave her much affection. I thought she was in love, she wouldn't see through me. But now the day has come and I'm alone. Ooh, how I wish that you were back with me. Yeah, yeah. Since she's gone, I've been crying by the window. I regret the time I let her go. 'Cause every time I hear knocking on your door, how
never lied in my whole life. I said I wanted you to be my wife. So darling, forgive me and forgive.
Chop food, keep played. Can't even ball cause his haters try to deflate. Whatever I do, they search for the mistakes. Some of them say my album worse than the mixtape. Some of them smile when they face me. Some of them swear with their lives how they hate me. Fake friends, they pretend with the smileys. Yellow and white every time they reply me. But that's bullshit. Me, I'm on some new shit. If you got beef for me, chop it up, deuces. Cause no time for your hateration. I got busy days going around the federation. Yeah, number one, homie, that's me, homie. If it ain't paying you, go drop B, homie. I'm complete, homie. Your whole street know me. I bring pain to the beat, that's me, Tony. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, nah, juju, they worry me. I know if it explain everything, I feel, but I feel like, no, they worry me. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, nah, juju, they worry me. I know if it explain everything, I feel, but I feel like, no, they somebody worry me. Pray for me, cause every little thing I do, and every little thing I somebody try. Pray for me, bad man everywhere, they want make me they cry. Somebody pray for me, cause every little thing I do, and every little thing I somebody try. Pray for me, bad man everywhere, they want make me they cry. These days, some people where you call friends chook hand for your eye and them no send. Life's a bitch and everybody screws you. Hammer over nails to your head is how they do you. The more you grow up and get more famous, the more they treat you like to your own anus. And if you fly too much, they turn terrorists. If you try to shine too bright, they turn eclipse. Some of y'all really showed love way back. Damn, now you hating my success. How Am I supposed to relate that? Huh? Am I supposed to be upset? But see, homie, I got kicks so fly, Jet Li, homie. I've been milking the game, no tea, homie. Quit bothering the dog, so flee, homie. You can't feed on me, you ain't. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, I you they worry me. I know if you explain everything I feel, but I feel like they worry me. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, I you they worry me. I know if you explain everything I feel, but I feel like somebody pray for me, cause every little thing I do and every little thing I somebody pray for me. Bad man everywhere, they want make me cry. Somebody pray for me, cause every little thing I do and every little thing I somebody pray for me. Bad man everywhere, they want make me cry. I dey ponder why you be saying I'm me, God they wonder. I started my career with a Honda, too fly and I'm never going under, so don't bother. Brother, you see, if you wish me well, then I wish you well. Oh, brother, you see, if you wish me fire, then go to hell. Oh, brother, you see, if you wish me well, then I wish you well. Oh, brother, you see, if you wish me fire, then go to hell. Oh, brother, you see, if you wish me well, then I wish you well. Oh, brother, you see, if you wish me fire, then go to hell. Oh, every time I see myself, I feel like saying, "Not you, they worry me." I know if it explain everything, I feel what I feel like. They worry me. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, "Not you, they worry me." I know if it explain everything, I feel what I feel like. They worry me. Every time I see myself, I feel like saying, "Not you, they worry me."
Yo, Clever J, one Danny Young, Chris Bond, and Castle of Production. So we got we do it non-stop, you know?
I think you were with this when I met her. I was walking down the street when I saw her. Excuse me, girl, can I know you? My gosh, she told me say your name is Aisha. I'm sorry for sound so nasty. It's just I can't hold my emotion. Cause she's still looking like an angel. Like the man we ever see and just this person stand. We've been love, we've been chatting, we've been flexing, we've been whining, we've been dining. Suddenly she turned from my way. Funny, can love, she didn't know me so. You promise so true, I got me to fall asleep. Girl, oh, why, you did do me like this, so I don't lie, you. This is not the love you promised me, oh. Now funny love you did play me, oh. I wonder why you did do me so. If your love no go be, make I carry go. Tell me which one you did. Everybody now so like you did. Like, oh, I can't take this any longer. This is what you did, they make me mad. I don't tire, sitting by the corner, thinking every day you don't even bother. Since then we've been love, we've been chatting, we've been flexing, we've been whining, we've been dining. Suddenly she turned from my way. Funny life she did do me so. She promised so true, I go meet her for last so. Tell you, why you did do me like this? So I don't die, oh. This is not the love you promised me, oh. Now funny love you did play me, oh. I wonder why you did do me so. If your love no go give me, I carry go.
I like that, Louis Rita. These girls can make me the meta. Omoge meta, Lorita. Olo Munishi Nidata. Mio Boda, Mio Nika. Right now I'm in the pretty meta. I get, I shake the master. If I want one more too much, I want that. Hey, Omoge tap me low. Make it shake a move. Down the day I so. I get, put your hands up in the air. Omoge time to go. Down the day I so. Check the day I so. Everybody behind me.
man, make me never go and fall. She hold me and she hold me tight. She tell me bad man, make me never go and leave. So me, Chris Bond and Clever J, one Danny Young, we are on things again. So we can't stop and me let you feel no for the girl in the yard. See, yeah, me I tell you again. Open up your ear, make you hear what I want. Yeah, me I tell you again. Open up your ear, make you hear what I want. Me love, me I tell you now, me love, girl. Me love, girl, me I know one lie. So you feel it again. This is not the love you promised me, oh. Now funny love you, they play me, oh. I wonder why you they do me so. If your love no go be, make I carry go. Yeah, you know, so me I love you so much.
They say they wanna love me, just can't get enough of me now. Come and replay. So they want to feel the voice of the one and only too much money. Trouble, yeah, my true love. Yeah, my true love. Yeah, my true love. Baby, won't you be my true love? Baby, won't you be my true love? Baby, won't you be my true love?
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today.
You come my house, yes.
Is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
We begin the road. Baby girl, I know fish out. I'm as if I'm in the now you, leave you.
dad. Oh, oh, oh. It be like said they won't tell us what to we never hear before. To Baba Day, yeah. Plus, Soli Baba Day, yeah. Sabada Badam, Dabadam, Day, Dabadam, Day, Dabadam, Day.
No be smarting, no be smarting, no be smarting, no be smarting. I said no be smarting, no be smarting, no be smarting. Hey. Looking back through all the years that you and I have spent together, it seems like you've been playing me all along. So many times you asked me to put the whole of my trust in you. So many times you betrayed me and played me for a fool. Why don't we work together so the future will be brighter? Cause it be like you and I, we didn't need each other all the time. All the time. Another year has come, and now you want my trust once more. Oh, no. It be like say you want to tell me another story again. It be like say you want to act another movie again. It be like say you want to go another coding again. It be like say you want to dance, la la la, nothing you dance again. You want to sing another song again. It be like say you want to go, you want to go. See all I wanna.
The Today
FM 120 local fiesta
is here.
I need that magic.
Is here.
Oh yeah, baby,
the Today FM 120 Soccer Fiesta is here. 16 teams will be competing for first prize at the tournament is set to kick off on Wednesday, 11th December 2019. The opening fixture scheduled for 1 p.m. will see BK Vandal take on Oyoyo Superstars, while the second fixture of the day, built for 4 p.m., will see SKE Development side tackles Lifeway FC. There will be 8 rounds of 16 matches on knockout basis until the final. 2 matches will be played per match day. Time, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. for all match days. Venue, all matches except the final and third place matches will be played at the Treasure FM football field, NTA premises, Umboba, Port Harcourt. The final will be played at the University of Port Harcourt Sports Complex.
need that magic.
Come watch as Today FM discovers talent for Nigerian football. Seasons Bonanza. We wish to share in the good cheer of the season by offering amazing discounts on advert campaign on our signal, your premium talk, your premium talk sports station. From the 5th of December to the 31st.
For every 3 slots you pay for, you get 2 free.
So hurry now and enjoy this best rates ever. Seasons Bonanza. We wish to share in the good cheer of the season by offering amazing discounts on advert campaign on our signal, your premium talk, your premium talk sports station. From the 5th of December to the 31st.
For every 3 slots you pay for, you get 2 free.
So hurry now and enjoy this best rates ever.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Opinion poll with Kalada.
right, a very good evening to you listening to us right about now. The time is 4 minutes getting past the hour of 9, and it's a wonderful Monday evening. The weather is chill. Oh, is it chill? It's hot. It's hot, actually. It's not chill. All right, it's Opinion Poll, and of course, the dial is today 95.1 FM, your voice of the people, or the voice of the people, your premium talk radio station, right here in the Garden City. And Opinion Poll is that show where we get to look at issues affecting society and we debate on it and we profess solutions so that the society can move forward to the permanent side, like some comedians will say, or better still, to the promised land. My name is Canada, and with me in the studio is...
Of course, my name is Kuku Greg, but you can call me K Greg every other day, like every other person does, and we stay best of buddies.
All right then. A lot of things happening in our society. Of course, show race issue is still top on the list, still top trend, and of course, you must have seen what Falana had to say about the DSS and their antics, because of course the presidency and the DSS replied yesterday, was it? Yeah, yesterday, and we talked about it briefly on the evening show on Sunday. But that's not what you want to say something.
So many things are actually trending, and some other things have just refused to stop trending. Stuff like the Bayelsa Kogi elections. Seriously,
I think they've gone to the elections tribunal.
The elections petition tribunal. Most people still licking their sores, crying foul, and saying, "Well, it wasn't fair, it wasn't credible," and all of that.
I think it's the usual chorus we hear. The people who lose call the process corrupt and mad with irregularities. And the people who win says it's the fairest of them all.
Fairest ever.
Fairest of them all.
Oh, man.
Interesting. And if those same people who lose later win, they'll say, yes, the judiciary, the hope of the common man.
Yeah.
And then the people who won the
final boss.
Yeah. Anyways, talking about corruption, we want to look at corruption critically this
World Anti-Corruption Day.
All right then, Today is Anti-Corruption Day, celebrated all around the world. And if you look at the mantra for this current administration, it is focused on certain pillars, and anti-corruption is one of those pillars. And that is why, a lot of us, was shouting, oh, finally, 12 years for Oji Uzo Kalu, even though our brothers in the East will say it's witch hunt.
Witch hunt?
Yeah, they say it's witch hunt.
Our brothers from the East are even the ones saying 12 years is not enough.
No, but I talked about it on Saturday.
From what I've heard so far, well, you could say out of if I've spoken to like 10 people on the subject matter, I'd say about three people. I'm speaking about our brothers from the East right now. I'd say about 3 people think it's witch hunt. About 6 people think 12 years is not enough. It should be 24. And then maybe just one person sitting on the fence.
I talked about it on Saturday. I mentioned it briefly on Sunday, and every time I mentioned it, every one person who called me said, "Oh, witch hunt." But that's not what we're looking at tonight. But the truth is, we want to look at corruption, because this is Anti-Corruption Day celebrated internationally, and because of the fact that today is the World Anti-Corruption Day, the National Bureau of Statistics has come out with a list of corrupt government agencies in Nigeria, and 9 agencies were listed. Now, I am very much concerned with a few of them, and those few are top on the few people or agencies that I'm concerned about is the police.
Yeah, because every Nigerian should be concerned, because you look at the agencies that made it to the top of the list. Those are agencies that are particularly supposed to be involved. Realistically, they should be involved. They should be at the forefront, at the front runner on the fight against corruption. And then it's ironical finding them way up there at the top of the list. So who then are we leaving this corruption fight to? You have the Nigerian police, you have the judiciary,
the customs.
You have the customs, and then come on.
and these are the bodies required to fight corruption. And if they are corrupt themselves, then how do we? I mean, corruption has become so systemic that I feel like almost every company and agency, no offense to anybody listening right now, somewhat in one way, engage or indulge in corruption.
Corrupt practice,
You might,
right?
no, I'm not going to say that. I wanted to say you might be paid with corrupt money, but I'm not going to say that right now.
There just has to be some elements of corruption in
All
the
right.
system.
All right.
And then it leaves one thinking. It leaves one thinking like, haven't we unconsciously made corruption a part, an integral part of the system? Because you get to places where you're meant to maybe get registered for something. You're meant to stand
And
in
then
a
you
queue.
have to tip.
You're meant to stand in a queue, and you have all of the documents. You have everything, all the requirements, and you get into the queue, and you find out that the queue is just there. It's not functional. There are people who come from the back.
They don't even come from anywhere.
They don't
They
come
just
from
come
anywhere.
from just from thin air.
Yeah, just move to the front, get registered without the necessary documents, and then you find that out, and you try to, you at the point get tired and exasperated. You're like, okay, let me move to the front. Let me see what exactly is happening in the front. You get to the front, and then you find out you have to part with a few nairas, and then you do that, and even after you've done that, you still have to go through the screening process. Whereas there are people who don't even show up with the documents, and they get registered.
Oh, interesting.
So all of these things just leave you. They just leave you
All right.
wondering.
Now we've talked about the system being corrupt itself, but let's look at the police. The police, in my layman understanding of their function, is to protect the lives and properties of the citizens in Nigeria, and make sure that there is law and order. Because the society where there's chaos,
enforce law and order.
Yeah, a society where there's chaos, then the society would not last for long. But then again, since 2016, different agencies, or will I say different international organizations and even local organizations, have fingered the police to be the most corrupt agency in Nigeria. From the UN, almost every organization that I know of.
Look, we had those statistics released 2017.
Yeah.
The police stopped the list. We had it then released in 2018. From I think I was privileged to see about statistics released from like 3 different organizations, one Nigerian, 2 international.
Yeah.
The police stopped the list in Nigeria here, and then now again.
Yeah.
So,
even early this year, there was a list, and the police did top the list as well. And yet, these people are supposed to be arresting corrupt. Like I said, they are supposed to enforce or maintain law and order. And, law and order means making sure that people who engage in corruption are made to face the wrath of the law. But then again, the police is the one that tops the list when it comes to corruption. And I'm wondering, the mantra of this government, like we said when we started the show, is anti-corruption. Then why do we still have the same people in authority in the police still having their jobs?
No ill meant. The situation could just be likened. It could just be likened to, keeping monkeys in charge of, stopping people from getting the bananas.
All right.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's looking like right now. But it's something that is very, very worrisome. Okay, it's very worrisome that those who are supposed to be enforcing the law, those who are supposed to be at the helm of affairs, at the front line of the anti-corruption fight, are the ones who are being pointed as the most corrupt.
Okay. I'm going to do something now. I'm going to play the devil's advocate now. I'm going to say, let's give the police. Let's give the police the benefit of the doubt.
I did play.
Wait. I want to ask a question now.
Okay.
Let's give the police the benefit of the doubt. What do you think could be the reason why all of these agencies have fingered the police to be the most corrupt? What could be the reason? Is it because of the bribery they collect on the road? Is it because of the fact that when you...
And the police, the guys there were like, no, she must don't do something. She must don't do something. We'll not be small children for here. So what exactly did your mom do? And the guy was like, look, I just made a report.
Yeah.
I expect you guys to take
investigate,
it up, investigate, and maybe you guys can get to find out if she actually did something wrong. But I know she didn't do anything wrong. Okay, it's just been animosity. The person has always had it in for her, and all of that. And the guys were like, okay, well, if you say so, but I put it to you. They were like, I put it to you that nobody just beats someone up.
All right. There's no smoke without the fire.
She must have done something wrong. So now, for starters, where your mama day?
So they wanted to arrest the mother now.
No. And he's like, she's home. She's, nursing her wound and all of that. And they're like, okay, we won't see the scene of the crime, but you will put fuel. You'll put fuel because the other guys went out with the van, the patrol van, and then the vehicle that is here, there's no fuel in it, and all that. And the guy was like, look, I'm the one, I just made the report. Okay, I just made the report. I don't have money right here to part with. And they were like, okay, now you say you're never serious. Just write your report and we'll take it up from there.
I get where you're coming from, and when I listen to stories like that, because I've heard a lot of them on Twitter and all of the likes, I feel like the police is not supposed to be taking the blame for it alone. The police is supposed to, the government funds the police.
Exactly. Now, so, I the reason why I brought this scenario up that I witnessed is because I actually want to relate it to an aspect that I have always been about with respect to the police force, and that has to do with the welfare, of the police. How much is an average policeman's salary? How much is
we've had an argument on the show 1,001 times.
Okay.
But the truth is, I do agree with you that the welfare is poor. But then again, is that the reason why we have members of the FSAS, misbehaving, harassing people, beating up people like we've seen in recent times, and sometimes accidentally shooting people to death like Kolade Johnson? I could go on and on and on.
Well, that's the most readily available excuse that they will give you if you ask them. Most of them I've had conversations with. That's the first thing.
Right.
That's the very first thing that they point fingers to it.
Right.
And if you look at it, they say a bad workman quarrels with his tools. Okay, but then what makes the bad workman bad?
All right.
What makes the bad workman bad? How? You get to work so you can get your wages.
All right.
Okay, every workman deserves his wages. He's even there in the Bible, and it's not just any kind of wages that is commensurate with the kind of work, the amount of work, the nature of work. We can sleep in our houses with both of our eyes closed because these guys are out there on the streets and all of that. But then again, just like you said, none of that is.
See. Now you're talking about welfare. I could counter that with so many points. Now,
okay.
For example, the vigilante have been said to be the reason why we have relative peace in most parts of Nigeria, not just Rivers State. Lagos State, we have vigilantes. We have the Neighborhood Safety Watch. We have it in Kano State? I can't remember. In about 3 other states.
It's very prominent in the north, actually.
All right. So if we have the vigilantes maintaining the peace and order in society, which of course is a function of the police, and of course they are not being paid by the government. You think about it. Welfare is not it. I think passion, they lack passion. But I want to move away from the police for a bit, or still on the police, but another aspect of the police, because I just called FSAS. There's the EFCC.
Okay.
Which is also made up of police officers and ex-police officers, yeah? And EFCC is an agency for corruption. And yet, they are still made up of police officers. And if you've seen the news today, 9 ex-governors who were supposedly supposed to face trial have their files under carpet. Timi Priel-Siva. The list goes on and on. Yeah. The question is, how come the government is not kicking the butts of the people in the helm of affairs in these various parastatals and agencies, whether you call it the police or whether it's the EFCC? Because then again, like I asked earlier, anti-corruption is the major bone, so to say, of this very society.
Are you asking now?
Yeah, I'm asking.
How come the government is not?
Yeah. If I were president or if I were governor or something, I would have fired people. Hey, EFCC, 9 people. Why have you not? You're fired. Why did it take you 12 years to get Ojo Kalu? You're fired. What?
Okay, now you're speaking about ex-governors who have their files under the carpet. Didn't you at any point in time didn't you listen or watch when the national chairman of the APC, speaking about Comrade Adam Toshomole right now, said, and I quote, that all you need to do is just come over to the APC.
But then
and
Ojo
Kalu
was in the APC. Daria was in the APC.
Okay.
And their sins were not forgiven. So were they carrying some kind of sin that is unforgivable?
I wonder because your guess is as good as mine right here. Well.
All right then. Now, I want us to look at the list now. In the list, there are two other government agencies that there is tax revenue officers as number 2. Of course, I'm not surprised. There is the public utility officers. Of course, I'm also not surprised. Like the PHEDC and all of that. There is judges and magistrates at number 4. There's customs and immigration officers at number 5. And that is where my focus is.
Judges and magistrates even before customs and immigration.
Yes. The other ones that I saw in the UN, they were number 2, by the way. I need to put that. I think number 2 or number 3. I can't remember now. Then we have other public officers. I don't know what that means. At number 6, we have teachers and lecturers. All those people who are saying, come and sleep with me. You get A. Not them. Not them. And then we have embassy and consulate officers, of course, and other health workers. And that's also true. I want to look at judges and magistrates because they are the hope of the common man. Yeah, and I also want to look at the customs and immigration because remember when we closed the borders, a lot of people said, oh, the borders are too porous, and all these people from Benin and all these people from Ghana, all these people from all these other neighboring countries bring in goods without acknowledging the agreement we signed during the ECOWAS treaty.
And then some people were even like, why close the borders? What's the exact reason why we have customs and immigration?
Yeah.
Aren't their responsibilities in the first place?
This is the answer to it.
Okay.
This is the answer to it. They are number 5 on the most corrupt agency. Yeah. So my point is, yet again, you're closing the borders, but you still have these corrupt officers. So when you open the borders, what does happen?
What happens?
And how do they still have their jobs?
Aren't they going to try to make up for?
How do they still have their jobs? Now I hear a story that there is a custom officer. I'm not going to call name, so I don't get arrested or kidnapped. But there is a custom officer who changes his car. Why am I saying there is? There are a lot of custom officers who change their car like 4 or 5 times a month. Corruption. So, the final question. Final question. Do you ever see Nigeria?
I also know of a customs, former customs boss who's in phrase right now, whose sins were also forgiven.
All right.
Okay, so I don't know. I really do not know. Seriously.
All right then. All right. Do you see Nigeria winning the corruption fight? With all of this, winning, with police, judiciary,
it depends on what you mean by winning right now, because winning in some context could actually refer to like reducing to the barest minimum.
Yeah.
So if that exactly is what you're talking about right now, then of course it is possible.
Of course, there is no utopian society, but then again, do you think it's possible?
It's possible. It's achievable.
Now, quickly, because it's time for us to open the phone lines. But quickly, now looking at the judiciary, hope of the common man. And in recent times, they've been making certain court orders. You look at the Showry court order. If you look at the election petition tribunal where Muhammad Buhari's victory was upheld, Governor Wike's victory was upheld. A lot of people, you get the point. Let us look at it now. Do you think the judiciary, maybe in the last 1 year, probably has redeemed itself? Or do you think that some of the verdicts that it has given is one of the reasons why it is still one of the most corrupt agencies in Nigeria?
Redeemed, you asked.
Well, not Redeemed Christian Church, by the way, but I'm talking about redeemed.
I'm paying particular attention to that verb, redeeming itself.
All right.
I'd say relatively.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say relatively because yes. If it was the activities, the activeness of our judicial system, if it was about 40% before. For this year, 2019, we're at the end of the year right now. I'd say from 40, we have about 65% right now. Yeah, with regards to all of the activities, the court orders, the rulings, and all of that. But then there are still cases that have been left hanging for so long.
All right.
So for just so
if you
most of the guys that you spoke about, the ex-governors whose files are under the carpet, I think
is it more of the judiciary?
Yeah,
I think it's
the judiciary.
I think it's the prosecution.
Of course, it's a prosecution.
But the prosecution have not served the.
They tell you it's a judicial process. The cases have been adjourned. We're following the process and all of that. So, I mean, what happened to the proverbial accelerated hearing?
All right then. It's only when they want to get Shawari in prison, by the way. I think you should know that.
That's when it happens fast.
Yeah, that's when it happens very fast. I didn't say it too. I just reference. I don't like looking for trouble these days because I'm not Shawari. I'm not a messiah.
You just like getting your pillow and your mat.
All right. 25 minutes going past the hour of 9. K. Greg and Kalada opinion poll today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people, and it is that time where you get to hear your views on the issue that we've raised. And like I said, we want the proper solution. So let's look at the police. Let's look at the customs. Let's look at the judiciary. At least these people are top on the list of corrupt agencies in Nigeria, and we're focusing on the 3. And I mean, do you think with these 3, in that list, that we will ever win the fight against corruption? Remember, the EFCC are also made up of police officers and ex-police officers.
Prominently.
And guess what? They are fighting corruption. Can corruption win corruption? And if we say that corruption has eaten so deep into our society that almost every organization is corrupt, who knows? Maybe even the one you work for, not the one I work for. I mean, who knows? Just maybe, if we begin to really fight corruption, then all the companies, all of it, might just evaporate into thin air.
Anyways, all right, people, you can be part of the show tonight. All you need to do is just call us up on our studio lines, which are 0817 0000 951. That's 0817 0000 or 0810 9510951. We won't be taking WhatsApp messages today.
Nah, it's down. It's down. Yeah, 95.1 FM.
Yeah, this part. Yeah.
All right, Pastor Zion, welcome on the show.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
See, I think that statistics to me is wrong.
I mean, different agencies.
Why would you say it's wrong?
Yeah, okay, go ahead anyways.
Yes, to me, I think the judiciary should assume the first position. The police should not take the first place. My brother, judiciary in this country is a mess. You can see we have different kind of judiciary and their sentimental positions. Some are working for the PDP, some are working for the APC.
All right.
And when you take matters to those working for the PDP, they give the judgment, they defer judgment without even proper checks on the matter.
All right, fine.
Now,
No. That's not what we're talking. Wait, listen now, Pastor Zai. We're not talking about whether it's the PDP. Wait, can I talk now? Because you're derailing our conversation now. So since you agree that the judiciary is corrupt, that is, you agree that one of the 3 is corrupt, do you think with the judiciary being corrupt that we will be able to win the fight against corruption?
Yes, that is it now. Now look at you were saying that upending almost all the election tribunal, mostly of governors.
I did not say all. I called Muhammadu Buhari and Governor of Rivers State. Those 2. I didn't call any other one.
I said, my brother, almost look at. In fact, all of them.
Okay, you
all
are
the
saying
governors.
You're the one saying now. Okay.
All the governors, including the president. Yes, I'm the one saying. Let me accept by being the one saying it. The governor, the president, all of them. Are you telling me that all of them, all the processes were right? there is no foul play. Okay, now look at.
Okay, since you're an APC man, you are an APC man. Was the president's verdict the right one?
That is what I'm saying.
No. Yes or 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 no. In your own layman opinion, was the president's verdict a great one? Was it a good one in terms of the judiciary?
Was it in the light of
yes or no? Pastor Zaya, I have to go to another caller. Yes or no?
I don't know how to answer that.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in.
You definitely.
Thank you very much.
You definitely wouldn't know how to answer that.
He's trying to sneak his way out of that one, but I'm not going to let him. We're going to go for a quick break. When we return, we'll take more calls. Stay tuned to Today 95.1 FM.
The Today
FM 120 local fiesta
is here.
I need that magic.
Is here.
Oh yeah, baby, see I see.
The Today FM 120 Soccer Fiesta is here. 16 teams will be competing for first prize at the tournament is set to kick off on Wednesday, 11th December 2019. The opening fixture scheduled for 1 p.m. will see BK Vandal take on Oyoyo Superstars, while the second fixture of the day, built for 4 p.m., will see SKE Development side tackles Lifeway FC. There will be 8 rounds of 16 matches on knockout basis until the final. 2 matches will be played per match day. Time, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. for all match days. Venue, all matches except the final and third place matches will be played at the Treasure FM football field, NTA premises, Umboba, Port Harcourt. The final will be played at the University of Port Harcourt Sports Complex.
Need that magic.
Come watch as Today FM discovers talent for Nigerian football.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
All right, welcome back from the break, and it's time for us to go back to the phone lines. Remember, the lines 0817-000-0951 and 0810-951-0951. Can we ever win the fight against corruption, being that today is the International Day for the Fight Against Corruption? Can we ever, looking at the 9 agencies on the list, police, customs, and judiciary?
Hello, 95.1 FM. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name, please, and where are you calling from?
My name is Fine.
I find your line is really breaking and all of that. We can hear you. All right.
Okay. Hello, 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good evening, Canada friend.
Yeah, good evening.
This is Dr. Dennis.
Okay, go ahead.
Concerning your question, if there is a higher authority that we can report to, let us say something like the United Nations, or maybe we are not a sovereign nation that we can now take our matter to countries outside the globe, then we can win the war. But as it is today, my dear brother, in all truth, except there is a kind of divine intervention, because I also believe in prayer, we can never win the war. Just as you have said, it's almost like a jungle situation. The mole eats the rat, then the cat eats the mole. Anybody who sees anybody he can eats him automatically. You understand?
Yeah.
So how do you think we are going to come out of it? Who will query the other? Nobody. When we were growing up, we studied in the 70s and all, we were taught character in all. You understand? And then we were going to take over tomorrow as the future leaders. But as it is today, however we derailed, is it the military that began to use nepotism and kill the civil service and all that? They have succeeded in ruining the nation, that it is a hopeless situation. anywhere you turn? Is it the reckless abandon with which the police now have left their duties and are mounting, toll gates? And with impunity, because they disobey their superiors with impunity, knowing that their superiors are also in or neck deep into corruption. So who is going to take who? Now, since we have lost character, all is lost. That's just it. They say when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when you lose character, my dear brother, you've lost all. And that's where Nigeria is. There seems to be no end. There seems to be no remedy. Let's all wallow in it wherever we find ourselves. Well.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for that one. I don't like that. I don't like that. Whatever we find ourselves.
That sounds like he actually did paint the picture of a hopeless situation.
Yeah, that's what he.
Hopeless situation.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. 95.1 FM.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah.
Chris. All right. Welcome.
Yeah. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Let me be honest with you. If anybody told you that is fighting corruption in this country, tell that person to open his own record first. The way I'm seeing and what I'm seeing in a situation, let me come to the custom. You claim that you are fighting corruption, that you are a government agency. You seize rice from me, and you claim that this rice
is
contraband.
Yeah.
Okay. And you proceeded in taking the rice to your family. You seize a car from somebody. You claim that government say that nobody should you make use of this type of car here, but you seize the car and you're making use of it. You connive the car at your own personal use. Police, you seize car from somebody, or you took a car from a robber or unknown people. If the people did not come and ask for the car, you confiscate it as your own personal property. Who is fooling who? You come to the court. Court will ask somebody to release somebody. You will not release that person. What type of country are we? What do we think that we are handing? I'm laughing at somebody. You ask somebody a simple question. Even the call that we make, people we claim that we know what we're. Even some of our callers, they are corrupt. Instead of them to go, I'm telling you, you know now.
I don't know. You tell me.
Somebody showed the example there now. Instead of that person to say this is what you're trying to divert, you know very well. And it's only that you people don't expose people like that. I like the way you people, but it's not good. And it's also corruption. If you see somebody that is doing bad, expose that person. Assuming that you people are exposing some of them. Some of those things, they are putting you people in a situation whereby I sometimes ask, is Canada or this person, does he know what he's doing? Did he know the journalism work?
No, I don't know it.
No, you don't. I'm not saying, you try to understand what I'm saying.
All right.
Trying to confuse somebody that knows what that person, just like your field, somebody that doesn't even know anything about your field, is coming to be correcting you, telling you that what you are saying is not the way, and you allow that person to make your own.
He has the right to his own views. That's what you don't get. It's called the voice of the people. I mean, think about it. But anyway,
yeah, I know.
Anyways, Chris.
I know. Yeah, well, it's not good. And nobody is fighting any corruption in this country, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in there. We lost that one. The calls back.
Well, people don't seem to believe that there's any hope with regards to the fight against corruption. That's if we are even seen as fighting corruption.
I mean, we can't say we're not fighting. Like I keep making reference to Oji, Uzo, Kalu.
Of course,
got 12 years.
And then recently, and I think an African country invited the acting chairman of the EFCC.
You can imagine
over,
and of course, even federal government pledged to help as well.
Of course.
All right then.
Hello, 95.1 FM.
We lost that one. We lost that one as well. Please do call us back 0817 000 951 and 0810 9510951.
Hello, good evening, 95.1 FM.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, okay, bad line. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good evening, Calad.
Hello, good evening. Oh, what's your name, please?
Yeah, Chief Bernard from Rumosi.
Chief Donald, you're welcome.
Bernard,
Go ahead.
Bernard,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, in the issue of corruption, nobody is fighting any corruption in Nigeria as long as corruption is consigned. Otherwise, somebody like Dimitri Sliver should have been in jail by now. All the old charges against him, which of the court that accused him that was a free man now to become a minister? Which of the court that Dimitri Sliver? Now, it's said that nine governors, their charges were swept under the carpet. The number one corrupt people in this country is police and EFCC. Father, police, EFCC graduated from former officers. They are the most corrupt people. If we tell you all the cases that are not being looked into in this country, you will marvel what the EFCC is doing. They only look at the people that the government, people in power, ask them to look at this person, look at the other person, look at that person. If you don't tell them, they turn their eye the other way. So EFCC and the police are the most corrupt people. And the judges, if you have a land case in the court, so far you can be able to offer part of the land to the judges. You can't go your own. So nobody fights any corruption in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, then thank you very much for calling in 95.1 FM.
Yeah, Canada, good evening.
Good evening to you.
I'm Thompson in Port Harcourt.
Thompson, welcome.
Yeah. Canada, I think I want to address this issue of success of the fight against corruption from a different angle.
All right, go ahead.
And I'll point out two things. One, in any society, any misnomer or any problem in a society that penetrates the family.
The family?
Yes, that penetrates the family has gone almost beyond redemption.
Interesting.
Now, the issue of corruption in Nigeria has penetrated the family.
All right.
So for us to solve the problem of corruption in Nigeria, we need a total reorientation of Nigerians.
Okay.
Not just talking on radio, not just police harassing police and judiciary, and if we can sort the issue right from the family setup, where we stop parents from encouraging their children to engage in illicit activities, then we might head the right direction.
All right, then.
Secondly, if we are to solve the problem of corruption in Nigeria, when we get it right at the family level, then we should focus on.
But don't you think that if we have a system that works, a structure that works, for example, you break the law and you face the wrath of the law, that maybe the families will begin to ingrain it in the minds of their children or in the members of that family that, see, if you do corruption, you will die. I mean, right now, Yahoo Boys is celebrated. I do agree with you. The family has lost it. Yahoo Boys is celebrated. Prostitution is celebrated. All of those forms of corruption are celebrated. But then again, if we had a system that works, don't you think that just maybe the families will begin to align themselves? But now families are saying, okay, let's let it be because the system does not work.
Calaba, I don't know how long ago you grew up. But when we were growing up, right? I'll give you an example with myself. I was going to school when I was in the primary school one day. I think somebody had dashed me, that was 5 kobo at the time. And on going to school, I used this money to buy fried fish. And hung at a corner close to the school, eating my fish. A distant uncle saw me eating the fish and asked me where I got the money. I told him that the so-and-so person gave me the money. You know what he did? He wasn't my father, he wasn't my brother, he wasn't my sister, neither was he my uncle. He He collected the fish from me, wrapped it very carefully, and took it home to my parents. To tell them that he saw me eating fried fish, which I bought with money on the road, whether they're aware of it or were aware of it. And the Canada, I was given the discipline of my life.
I grew up in such conditions as well. At least yours was wait, Thompson. Yours was a distant uncle. I had neighbors. Then you had neighbors helping neighbors discipline their children.
Look, there were instances when people you don't even know.
Yeah.
As long as they're adults and
No,
and you
I'm
misbehave.
embarking on a journey. The question I want to ask is this. Alada, can you be walking on the road today and see a relation of yours doing something bad and you summon the courage to correct him and the
Why not?
parents wouldn't
Why
act?
not?
When
Why
the
not?
parents wouldn't act,
Why
the
not?
parents wouldn't listen now and the parents wouldn't ask you what is your
I
business.
said yes. Why not? As far as my relatives, yes, we do that. We still have that culture. My point being is, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm trying to tell you that why it is like that is because the system is broken, and when the system is broken, the family will say, okay, you know what, the system is broken, and find a way.
That is the penetration of the family I have talked about. The system has been so bastardized that the family is no longer under control.
All right, then.
With me?
I'm with you.
With the problem facing the family, the judiciary also made it worse. Are you aware in this country today that we buy justice?
Yeah. I don't know because I've never bought justice.
But you first said yeah.
No. I did not hear you very well. And it replayed in my head.
Canada. Let me stop it at that point by informing you that Nigerians today buy justice, and when we start buying justice, then we are heading the right direction.
All right. Then thank you very much. But I think the system should work for me. I mean, it's the system, and not. I know, the family has a role to play, but the system. I mean, in America there's corruption, but they have a system that works.
Well, I think what he's trying to say, or what he said in essence, is that the system entirely depends on the smallest units of the society, which is the various families.
Right.
So, if the EFCC we're talking about, the police we're talking about, each of them come from families.
All right.
Yeah.
All right then. Last call for tonight, 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Canada.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Canada.
Kalada and K. Greg on the show. Just go ahead and talk. Kalada and K. Greg, go ahead.
Okay. This is Comrade Kabari calling from Balogun Planning, Pony.
Okay, go ahead.
You see, the issue of corruption. A lot of Nigerians does not know the steps that we would take to do what? Reach corruption in our society. And that is where you hear some person says reorientation, reorient that, like this, like that, religious bodies, they tell you that wouldn't work. The only solution is to strengthen our institutions. And irrespective of whose ox is God, once you mislead the public, once you tamper with the people's work, you will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Do you understand? That is it. Because if I get up today and said, I am a bishop, I am an imam, you might be carried away maybe by my physical appearance. Do you understand? But along the run, I might just deviate and hurt persons. Do you understand? And nothing happens to me. If nothing happens to me, what happened? So we don't say that I am indeed an imam as claimed or bishop. No. So as I speak to you, you see, in the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, if I tell you the story, look, lady was sparked. I calmed this lady right inside the University of Port Harcourt premises. They have been old for the past 7 months. University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. Do you know if that lady now perpetrate that act that she intends to perpetrate, I tell you, the world will hear of it. Yes, the world will hear of it. And it is not something that is in the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital.
it crisscrosses every sector of the society. Are you with me?
I'm listening.
So the problem is we should strengthen. See, some persons does not know the importance of strengthening the institution.
All right, then.
If the institution cannot be strengthened,
All right.
you cannot go corruption. You cannot.
Kabari, we've got to go now, but thank you. I get your point. We've got to strengthen institutions. No weak institutions, strong men. I get your point.
That is the only solution, because the government regulate everybody, every sector, every group in the society.
All right, then.
This
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in. You got final words?
Yeah, well, it actually does go back to something that you have always been saying: strong men, weak institutions.
Yeah.
And I feel once the fight against corruption quits being sectional, quits being selective, then that's when we start making headway.
All right, then. That's the much we can take, because we've got to go for a commercial that lasts for 10 minutes. And, after the 10 minutes, it's going to be the world news. Yeah, so stay tuned.
Welcome to the Guinness Football Show, the show that is made of more and proudly brought to you by Guinness. Good evening and welcome to the Monday edition of the Guinness Football Show, the show that is made of more and forces the passion of extraordinary football fans, and of course, is proudly brought to you by Guinness. It comes your way on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays on this dial and at this time. Now, Guinness believes you're made of more, and that's why this show has been specially crafted, just like your favorite glass of Guinness, just for you. Remember, there are 3 segments of the Guinness Football Show. We've got the Guinness Football News, where we refresh your memory and serve you with the biggest news headlines making the rounds in the world of football. After which, we've also got the Guinness Football Stats, where we serve you with extraordinary stats that make you look good when you're talking with your friends. Don't forget, there's also the Guinness Football Quote, which is a notable quote taken from a notable football personality. All of these, of course, are part of the Guinness Football Show. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to start off with the Guinness Football Show, which is proudly brought to you by Guinness.
Ever wondered what it means to be a Guinness MVP? Paths are crowded by adoring fans. Endless requests for selfies.
Can I get a selfie?
Yes, you too can be a Guinness MVP and win millions of Naira weekly, up to 100 million Naira worth of airtime, and tickets to night football events. All you need do is open your favorite Guinness stout and look under the crown cork for a code. Dial *1759 *code hash and send. See posters and newspapers for more details. Promo runs from October 1st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. Not for persons under 18 years of age. Drink responsibly.
It's time for the Guinness Football News. Welcome back to the show. Let's get into the Guinness Football News, and let's start off in England, where Manchester City defender Kyle Walker has insisted that his teammates will not be giving up on their Premier League title defense despite the growing gap between themselves and Liverpool. City suffered a stunning 2-1 defeat at home to City rivals Manchester United over the weekend, meaning they have now won just 2 of their last 5 games in the English top flight. The reigning champions are now 14 points behind Liverpool, who beat Bournemouth 3-0 to go on to protect their unbeaten start to the Premier League campaign and also extend their current winning streak to 7 games. Guardiola's team have fallen far behind the pace and were exposed on their own turf by an extraordinary display by Manchester United, as the former Tottenham defender Kyle Walker insists that the side must keep fighting to get back into the race, showing that they are made of more. It's a massive gap, we know that, but we need to keep fighting until the end. It's not over until it is truly over. Pep Guardiola's side will have a chance to bounce back in their next game when they face Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League before taking on Arsenal next Sunday. Niko Kovac, meanwhile, has expressed his desire at the vacant job at Arsenal, and his interest has been made known to the club's hierarchy. Now, sources say that the Croatian is interested after being, of course, out of work since he was sacked by Bayern Munich in November. Hansi Flick has stepped in as the interim boss until the end of the current season at Bayern Munich, but Kovac and his representatives were spotted at Everton on Saturday, where they watched the 3-1 victory over Chelsea from the director's box at Goodison Park. His presence sparks speculation that he could be in the frame for the job at Everton, but he has distanced himself from that suggestion, stating that he was in England merely to take in a few games while on a break from football. Furthermore, Kovac, who spent 2 years in charge of Eintracht Frankfurt before taking over at Bayern Munich, is expected to also attend Arsenal's game against West Ham tonight. The Croats representatives have been in contact with Arsenal to express his interest in the role as the North London club look for a replacement to sacked manager Unai Emery. And that's it for the Guinness Football News. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, it'll be time to get into the Guinness Football Stats. But before all of that, listen up, because we've got an important message from our sponsors, Guinness. What's up, people? Guinness, Nigeria's favorite stout, is at it again. Guinness is foiling the passion of extraordinary football fans with the Guinness MVP promo. The Guinness MVP promo is rewarding passionate fans with millions in cash and airtime. Every week for 16 weeks, an extraordinary fan wins 1 million naira, while 32 other fans win 5,000 naira daily. Don't miss out on being an MVP this season. Yes, you heard me. Millions are being paid out in cash and airtime to extraordinary fans of football by Guinness. There's also a ticket to an experiential event like no other, the Guinness Night Football. To win, get a cold, refreshing bottle of Guinness, check under the Red Crown promo, and send the code that you find to *1759* the code and then hash. Once again, that is *1759* the code that you find under the red promo crown and then hash. The promo runs until January 31st, 2020. So keep checking your Red Crown, guys. For more on this promo, follow Guinness Nigeria at Guinness NGR. Be an MVP with Guinness. Guinness, fans made of more. Terms and conditions apply. Remember to always drink responsibly.
Ever wondered what it means to be a Guinness MVP? Paths are crowded by adoring fans. Endless requests for selfies.
Can I get a selfie?
Yes, you too can be a Guinness MVP and win millions of Naira weekly, up to 100 million Naira worth of airtime, and tickets to night football events. All you need do is open your favorite Guinness stout and look under the crown cork for a code. Dial *1759* code hash and send. See posters and newspapers for more details. Promo runs from October 1st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. Not for persons under 18 years of age. Drink responsibly.
Time to serve you with the Guinness Football Stats. Welcome back to the show. Let's get into the Guinness Football Stats. Now, Neil Maupay has scored 6 Premier League goals this season, at least 3 times as many more than any other Brighton player, while Leicester City have won 8 consecutive top-flight league games for the first time in the club's 135-year history. Manchester United are also the first team to beat Manchester City multiple times at the Etihad in the Premier League under Pep Guardiola, while Jamie Vardy has scored 14 goals in 15 Premier League games this season, the same record at this stage of Leicester City's title-winning campaign in 2015-2016. Leicester City also have the best goals difference in the Premier League this season with plus 29, while Son Heung-min has been directly involved in 10 goals in 8 games across all competitions since the start of December, with the latest one, of course, being that stunning solo effort against Burnley. Let's go on another break. When we come back, it'll be time to take the Guinness Football Quote.
Ever wondered what it means to be a Guinness MVP? Paths are crowded by adoring fans. Endless requests for selfies.
Can I get a selfie?
Yes, you too can be a Guinness MVP and win millions of Naira weekly, up to 100 million Naira worth of airtime, and tickets to night football events. All you need do is open your favorite Guinness stout and look under the crown cork for a code. Dial *1759* code hash and send. See posters and newspapers for more details. Promo runs from October 1st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. Not for persons under 18 years of age. Drink responsibly.
And finally, the Guinness Football Quotes. Welcome back to the show, guys. Let's get into the Guinness Football Quotes today, taking from Jose Mourinho, talking about that stunning Son Heung-min goal. Even before the goal, my son calls him Sonaldo, and in the game, he was Sonaldo Nazario. The only thing that came to mind was a goal where I had the honor to be sat next to Sir Robson in 1996 when Ronaldo Nazario scored a goal against Compostela from behind the halfway line, and he scored a similar goal. The kid is fantastic, and I am so happy with him. And that's it for today's edition of the Guinness Football Show. Thank you so much for being a part of it as always. Make it a day with us next time when we come your way, of course, right here on this dial for another edition of the Guinness Football Show. Until then, keep being made of more. And remember, the show is proudly brought to you by Guinness. Thank you for listening to the Guinness Football Show, proudly brought to you by Guinness.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good evening. This is World News at 10 on your premium talk radio today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Kala Dakuru Batpo. Now, the headlines. Prosecution Council calls 3 witnesses in trial of suspected serial killer in River State, Gracious David West. President Muhammadu Buhari leaves Nigeria tomorrow for meeting of African Union members in Egypt. Senate President calls for state of emergency in Nigeria's power sector. On the foreign scene, Tanzanian President Robert Magufuli orders release of over 5,000 prisoners in commemoration of country's independence. Now, the details. The Rivers State government has opened prosecution in the murder charge against suspected serial killer Gracious David West, with 3 witnesses cross-examined before a state high court sitting in Port Harcourt. The first witness, Chigbu Egbeke, who is the manager of a hotel in Oibo area, told the court that David West checked into the hotel room 313 as a military officer with a fake name, Kachi Tom Jonah. Egbeke said the suspected serial killer was later seen with a lady who was identified as Linda Samuel and was found dead. The second witness, who gave his name as John Yanga, who is the manager of a hotel within Old GRA, told the court that they discovered a dead lady with her hands and legs tied with white material inside the hotel room where Gracious David West had lodged. Also responding to cross-examination, Inieche Sabinus, who is the manager of a hotel within D-Line Port Harcourt, told the court that David West went out and returned with a lady who was later found dead inside the room the next morning. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, the prosecution counsel Chidieke disclosed that the state government may not cross-examine all the witnesses based on the quality of evidence given so far.
We are come to open our case of the prosecution against Gracious David West, the serial killer that was arrested in connection with the killings of young ladies in hotel in Port Harcourt and outside Port Harcourt. Commenced our case today by calling 3 witnesses to show that we are ready to prosecute the matter to its logical conclusion. All our witnesses were in court. There's one that is also here, couldn't take the 4th one, but 3 witnesses brought today came and testified, and all of them are managers of various hotels. Those things, the incident took place, and they were equally cross-examined. So we are done with them. The matter has been adjourned again to the next date, which is the 11th of this month, for us to call further witnesses in the matter. What the law requires, not that we should call a community of witnesses, but to call relevant witnesses that can help us establish our case. So if I call 3 or 4 more witnesses, and I know that I proved all the elements of the offense of murder, in those instances, I'll end it at that point.
On his part, counsel to the accused, Vincent Chiku emphasized on the importance of a thorough cross-examination of the witnesses.
The trial has commenced, and we've been able to take up to 3 witnesses of the prosecution. They have been taken and discharged. We are done with the 3 for now. Yet. The witness must be cross-examined. They have to do further proof of the facts they have stated before the court. They must be thoroughly examined as to know the veracity of it, and that is why it is a court.
Our correspondent Uchendu Ejowa reports that the trial judge, Justice Adolphus Enebeli, adjourned till 11th of December 2019 for continuation of cross-examination of witnesses. Governor Yesomike has told the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, that the government and people of River State would support the fight against corruption. Governor Wike said this when he joined the EFCC, civil society organizations and other anti-corruption organizations for an anti-corruption walk in Port Harcourt to mark the 2019 edition of the Anti-Corruption Day. The governor cautioned that the EFCC must ensure its actions are done within the ambits of the law, as the River State government would not support any action outside the law. Our correspondent reports that the walk, which started from the EFCC headquarters in the old Jari part of Port Harcourt, went through to the Mile 1 flyover to the Rumuwoji markets. The 9th of December every year is the day set aside by the United Nations to mark the International Anti-Corruption Day. Meanwhile, the South Zonal Head of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdurrashid Bawa, has insisted that the EFCC has always operated within the rule of law in the fight against corruption. Addressing newsmen during the anti-corruption walk in Port Harcourt, Bawa said the EFCC has over 90% success rate in all the cases instituted in court across the zone. Bawa, who commended the River State government for aligning with the efforts of the commission, said the EFCC would remain a law-abiding institution.
Argument that corruption is the bane of development of nations. So it is encouraging that River State governor and of course, the government of River State in general is aligning with the fact that we must do something about what corruption. We are also happy to the fact that he mentioned it publicly that no member of the Executive Council that is corrupt will have a place in his own cabinet, which is a welcome development. The EFCC is the creation of the law. There is no organization that I'm aware that is working in tandem with the Nigerian courts than the EFCC. We are prosecuting cases in court, particularly in relation to our mandate, more than any other organization in this country. And we have 98 to 99% success rate of all the cases that we have taken to court.
In a related development, the Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has commemorated the World Anti-Corruption Day with a street sensitization across major roads in Port Harcourt. Chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasanoye, described corruption as an abuse of an entrusted position for personal benefit or the exploitation of a system for securing an unmerited advantage. Owasanoye, who was represented by the Commissioner of ICPC in River State, Alexander Chukura, said collaboration with other anti-graft agencies, NGOs, and the general public will help the fight against corruption, especially among public office holders.
Let me use this occasion to remind you that the ICPC vested with the responsibility to receive and investigate reports of corruption and to recruit for offenders when necessary. To solve and review corruption-proof procedures and systems in government establishments with a view to eliminating and minimizing corruption, and to educate and mobilize the public against corruption. ICPC is determined to make anti-corruption crusade affect governance and well-being of the sovereignty of Nigeria. It is therefore my strong belief that this commemoration will provide a platform for the exchange of robust ideas that will aid in enhancing the fight against corruption. There is no doubt that the fight against corruption can succeed if fought at all levels, and when Nigerians cease to pay lip service to the fight against corruption, change their corrupt ways of life, and effectively embrace integrity, transparency, and accountability as a way of life.
On his part, State Coordinator of the National Orientation Agency, Young Ayotamino, thanked civil society groups, government agencies for coming out to sensitize the general public on the dangers of corruption.
That corruption will fight back at us, that fighting corruption is not going to be easy, and it's not going to be an easy road. And today we are seeing the reality. I'm saying it is a reality because we can see the high-profile convictions that we have had in very recent times. The last that we had was that of last week, and that is the third one. The trend in this country is for people to rule with impunity, for people to rule with corruption, and then hide, and then scale up their activities hide their activities by going straight into some of the national institutions like the National Assembly, seek representation there, and then go and hide there. But all that is no longer the case.
Our correspondent Priye Zogu reports that civil society organizations, youth groups, members of the National Youth Service Corps, and other stakeholders were present at the sensitization program. The theme for the year, World Anti-Corruption Day, is United Against Corruption. Nigerians can now monitor how monies that come into government coffer are being spent. This follows the launch of the Open Treasury portal by the federal government. Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Waziri Adio, in a statement said all the ministries, departments and agencies are mandated to publish on a daily basis reports of payments in excess of 5 million naira and over, monthly budget performance and sundry other official financial dealings. Adio said the publications must be in line with the international public sector accounting standards. He stated that all the reports are to be published within stipulated deadlines on this portal, www.opentreasury.gov.ng, which can be accessed by all Nigerians. Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Waziri Adio, also said the Accountant General of the Federation will also publish on a daily basis inflows and outflows into the Treasury. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented on the occasion by the Minister of State for Niger Delta, Senator Omotayo Alasodura, said that all those doing business with government should know that henceforth all payments they receive will be made public. President Muhammadu Buhari has named Mohammed Nami as the new chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. A tax consultant and graduate of Ahmadu Bello University, Nami replaces Tunde Fowler, whose tenure expired today. The newly appointed FIRS boss is said to be well-trained tax, accounting and management professional with highly rated qualifications and professional practice and licenses from relevant professional bodies. Presidential spokesman Gabashewu said Nami also has almost 3 decades of practical work experiences in auditing, tax management and advisory and management services to clients in the banking, manufacturing, services and public sectors, as well as non-profit organizations. President Muhammadu Buhari will tomorrow depart Nigeria for Aswan, Egypt, to attend a meeting designed to set an agenda for sustainable peace and development in Africa. This is according to a statement issued by the presidential spokesman Femi Adesina. The statement said the initiative is being launched by the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in his capacity as the chairman of the African Union and as an advocate of post-conflict reconstruction and development in Africa, a recurring theme of his tenure as the AU chairman. Adesina said the gathering is expected to bring together heads of state and government, leaders from regional and international organizations, financial institutions, private sector, and civil societies. It is also expected to end with a declaration on the theme of the forum and become an annual event. Adesina said the president will be accompanied by Amadu Fintiri, governor of Adamawa State, Godwin Abasiki of Edo State, and Mai Mala Buni of Yobe State. Others are Bashir Magashi, Minister of Defense, Zubaru Dada, Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Babagana Mongono, National Security Advisor, and Ahmed Abubakar, Director General of National Intelligence Agency. The president is expected back in Abuja on Friday. Senate President Amalawan has called on the executive arm of government to, as a matter of urgency, declare a state of emergency in the power sector. Lawan said the move will help the country overcome the legion of problems stalling steady power supply in Nigeria. The Senate President stated this while declaring open a one-day roundtable discussion with the theme addressing Nigeria's power problems, organized by the Senate Committee on Power. He said the privatization of the power sector in 2005 and 2013 was a grand scheme conceived with the intention to defraud Nigeria. Lawan then called for a review of the privatization exercise undertaken by the Goodluck Jonathan administration, which led to a takeover of the power sector by private generating companies and distribution companies. You're listening to the World News at 10 on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
You're still listening to the World News at 10 on Today 95.1 FM. Welcome back. Now, the rest of the news. Senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, who is counsel to the convener of Revolution Now movement, Omoyole Sowore, is alleged that the federal government offered the activist a death warrant deal while in custody of the Department of State Services, DSS. Falana disclosed that the Nigerian government reached out for the deal during Showere's first 45 days in detention. Falana stated that the DSS also reached out to him so as to convince Sowore when they could not persuade the presidential candidate of AAC to take the deal he was offered, adding that the intelligence agency filed charges against Sowore when they could not convince him to take the deal.
I have said publicly that in my presence, the officer who led the goons on that day apologized profusely to the judge in our chambers. And the government lawyer was there, who also expressed regret that he was not carried along. Because no lawyer in Nigeria will be party to such gangsterism.
Sowore and his co-defendant Olawale Bakari were accused of treasonable felony, cyber stalking, and money laundering. The Nigerian Army has explained that it is important for civilians not to make or receive telephone calls while approaching a checkpoint for security reasons. Chief of Civil Military Affairs of the Nigerian Defense Headquarters, Major General Usman Mohammed, said this while speaking on live television. Major General Mohammed said not allowing telephone calls near a security checkpoint is a standard procedure all over the world because of the intention of criminals.
It's checkpoint. Well, checkpoints generally, you don't make phone calls.
On the move by the federal government to encourage Made in Nigeria products, Director General of the Defense Industries Corporation of the Nigerian Army, Major General Victor Izogo, disclosed that President Muhammadu Buhari has given approval for the construction of a manufacturing plant where all uniforms of the Nigerian Armed Forces would be made.
All these things are geared towards making sure that Defense Industry Corporation rises up to its mandate to ensure that we feed the armed forces and security agencies of all that they require to execute their mandate. And let me just also give a cheering news to our colleagues out there that Mr. President has performed the groundbreaking of the Daikon Sur Garment Factory. This garment factory will be constructed in the next 10 months from January. And the idea is that Daikon and our partners from Turkey will be producing all the uniforms required by the armed forces and all the security agencies. And this is another milestone so that non-lethal equipment and services will also be provided by Daikon. So as we are producing things to fight the war, we're also looking at things that will make logistics a little bit easy for armed forces and security agencies to execute their task.
APEC Sociocultural Group in Nigeria's southeast, Ohaneze Indigbo, has cautioned Nigerians abroad to exercise some restraint in their attacks on Nigerian officials despite their anger over the state of affairs in the land. Spokesman of Ohaneze Indigbo, Chuks Igbegbu, in an interview with newsmen in Aba, Abia State, asked the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, to see the purported attacks on him as part of the sacrifice for nation building. Igbegbu advised those in power to address the needs of the people to avoid such ugly incidents, just as he warned those threatening to destroy Igbo properties in the Niger Delta to desist from such, as even Amechi admitted the attack was by unknown Nigerians. It would interest you to know that the group under the aegis of concerned youths of Niger Delta had given a 7-day ultimatum to the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to apologize to the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, over the recent attack on him in Madrid, Spain, by its members. On the foreign scene, Tanzanian President John Magufuli has ordered that around 5,500 inmates be freed from Tanzania's overcrowded prisons at the ceremony to mark the anniversary of the country's independence from colonial rule. President Magufuli, who has publicly expressed both sympathy and derision for the country's prison population, announced the mass pardon at an event marking Tanzania's National Day. Magufuli, who came into power in 2015 as a corruption-fighting man, has toured overcrowded prisons in the past and ordered authorities to free those being held for long stretches without trial. The government says Tanzania's current prison population is around 36,000, with some facilities considerably over capacity. New Zealand police say reconnaissance flights over New Zealand's White Island volcano have not identified any survivors there after Monday's eruption. About 50 people are thought to have been touring the uninhabited island. At least 5 people died and 23 were rescued, some of whom were critically ill with burn injuries. Police believe anyone who could have been found alive was evacuated. A naval ship is due to approach the island, which has yet to be searched because of the risk to rescuers. Smoke and ash continue to rise above the island after daybreak on Tuesday. In sports, the World Anti-Doping Agency has banned Russia from global sporting events, including the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, after accusing Moscow of falsifying data from the anti-doping laboratory. Spokesman of the agency, James Fitzgerald, while speaking at a meeting of the body's executive committee in La Sune, said the full list of recommendations have been unanimously accepted. He added that WADA's executive committee approved unanimously to assert a non-compliance on the Russian anti-doping agency for a period of 4 years. AP reports that the ruling means Russian athletes will still be allowed to compete at the Tokyo Olympics as neutrals, but only if they can demonstrate that they were not part of what World Anti-Doping Agency believes was a state-sponsored system of doping. The independent McLaren report released in 2016 revealed the significant extent of state-sponsored doping in Russia, notably between 2011 to 2015. To end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Prosecution Counsel has called 3 witnesses in the trial of the suspected serial killer in River State, Gracious David West. President Muhammadu Buhari will tomorrow depart Nigeria for a meeting of African Union members in Egypt. Senate President Ahmed Lawan has called for the declaration of a state of emergency in Nigeria's power sector. On the foreign scene, Tanzania President Robert Magufuli has ordered the release of over 5,000 prisoners in commemoration of the country's independence. That was the news as edited by Chinedu Owuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502. Send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. I am Kala Dako. Thank you for listening. Good evening. Nostalgia Drive is up next.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus.
Today 95.1 FM would like to say
ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas
to all this season.
95.1 Port Harcourt.
Where do you think you're going to put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, Merry Christmas.
Your number one talk radio station. 95.1 FM.
The blessings of the Lord rest upon you wherever you're hearing the sound of my voice from beautiful people of Port Harcourt. This is the voice of Pastor Simeon Okeke from the palace of His Majesty Family Church, Port Harcourt. This is the very last month of the year. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, it simply means that you are alive. If you are alive, it means that the mercies and grace of God has kept you. Not because you are good, not because you are the biggest and greatest worker in your church. You're not alive because the enemy didn't try to kill you. They tried their best. Even as we speak, they are still trying their best. But you are still alive, and you are going to be alive and enjoy life, because the one that keeps you neither sleeps nor slumbers. He deserves some praise. Give him some praise wherever you are. When you don't give God praise, when you don't thank him for what he has done, you have closed the door for a new level. A lot of people are so focused on their present challenges, trying to solve it, and yet no way. Instead of just giving God praise for the one he has done, and he will do another one. Listen to me, sir. He says, without me, you can do nothing. Don't kill yourself trying to plot the graph of your whole life. It does not matter how bad things are right now. We serve a God that is the master of dead situations. Listen, when your car is faulty, you take it to a mechanic, and when you get there, when you give them the car, you don't help them to fix the car. You allow them fix the car. But you must be sure that that mechanic is a professional. Now, when your life is now looking like things fall apart on every side, don't try to fix it. When your life is bad, take it to God. Some people even run away from God simply because they are aware that they put themselves into that trouble that they are inside. And they now think that God is the one that is trying to punish them. Our God is not like that. Our God is a God of mercy. You that took yourself to the doctors to remove your womb, probably when you were younger, it is still God that will have mercy on you. The devil has nothing to give you. It is still God that will have mercy on you and give you a child without a womb. Don't let anybody deceive you to make you feel like God is the one punishing you because of your mistakes. No, our God is love, and love is patient. Love is kind. Love will not become impatient and unkind because of your mistake. Maybe you are out there and you think God is punishing you. No. The person that said that to you lied to you. Rather, he's still waiting for you, like the father of the prodigal son, to change your life, even though you are the one that is responsible for your calamities. That's the kind of God we serve. The one that saved you while you were yet sinners, he gave his only begotten son, will not hold back your husband because you made a little mistake. He will not hold back your child. He will not stop your visa. He will not fire arrow of sickness into you to kill you after giving his only son to save you. If there be a challenge in your life that you have struggled to come out of it, if you have been called barren when God has said be fruitful and multiply, it is the enemy that has done this. The God that said be fruitful and multiply is not a man that he will repent or lie. Numbers 23:19. Romans chapter 11 verse 29. The gifts and the callings of God are irrevocable. They are without repentance. His words are yea and amen. The troubles in your life are the handwork of the enemy, and the expiry date has arrived. Your time for a lifting has come. And when God wants to help a man, he sends a man. By a prophet, he brought them out. By a prophet, he preserved them. He has heard your cry, and is sending you his choice servant. This very Wednesday morning is mega interdenominational prophetic service, an appointment with the God of mercy, with Prophet Isaac Rema, the son of the Emeritus, Senior Prophet Hubert Angel of Spirit Embassy, United Kingdom, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. You might have been trying on your own for 5 years, from January even until now. Be wise, my brother. What man cannot do, there is a God that can make it happen in 5 seconds, in 1 minute. That thing you have tried for 1 year, for 7 years. This is not a meeting you want to miss for any reason. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, it is not coincidence. It has been predestined by God that you'll be sitting by that radio just to hear this voice in order to connect with your lifting. It was exactly this program last year in the city of Asaba, this very same time, that a man heard my voice like this on the radio, that the prophet was coming to the city of Asaba. He was paralyzed. He had an accident for more than 1 year. One hospital to another, using crutches. He managed to come to that meeting. And while the prophet was ministering, he just walked up to this man and said, "Do you believe that Jesus can heal you?" And the man said, "Yes, sir. That's why I came." And he anointed the man, just that. And this man dropped his crutches as the prophet said, "Walk." And he began to walk. He shouted. He said, "I don't need them anymore." Till today, he's totally healed. And now even one of our major partners, because after that healing, the prophet prophesied that he sees him doing agriculture and everything went up, increased with the speed of light. And that God is going to send somebody to give him the money. It did not take long at all. God fulfilled all his word. Today, he has his legs. He's a partner. He's doing the business. It was this very same time, in that very meeting, around this time, December last year, while the prophet was ministering, he said, "I hear the Spirit of the Lord say to me, my people will not celebrate Christmas like this." And he's asking me to declare miracle money. And as the prophet declared miracle money right there in the service, people started getting alerts. Even people that people are owing them for a very long time. An old woman got 2 alerts inside the service. Even me, Pastor, I was really expecting that God would give me my own that very day. But the prophet said, even if you don't get your own today, just be checking your phone. Angels are going to the bank. That woman, after getting 2 alerts in church, she got 2 after service, making it 4 alerts. I didn't get that day, though I was really expecting. But to God be the glory. The next day, somebody I was not expecting a dime from, God surprised me with that person. The prophet located the young man in that meeting. Said, do you know where your problem is coming from? He said, no, sir. The prophet said, your father married 3 wives. The guy said, yes, sir, you are correct. Say, your mother is the last wife. And the first wife is responsible for your troubles. You started building a house, everything crumbled. Your money scattered since you started this house and you have not completed it. The guy shouted, say, prophet, you are 100% correct. And the prophet told him exactly what to do. And that was the end of that affliction by the grace of God. Listen, this is not go and fast for 50 days. This is not your miracle is around the corner. No, right there in the meeting, you will see the power of God. Jesus did not send people to 30 days fasting, 77 days fasting before he changed their life. Listen, as you are hearing me now, pick your Android phone, just type Prophet Isaac Rema on Facebook, like the page, scroll down, go and watch enough videos for yourself. Prophet Isaac Rema. On the radio like this, we can't share testimonies much. But you can go and watch for yourself. Enough. Don't watch one video. Watch enough. Watch plenty. So when you are taking excuse from work, you will know what you are taking excuse from. If you are traveling in, you know what you are traveling in for. It was a meeting like this. A young man in Asaba attended. He has been struggling for over 10 years. But after prayers in the meeting, the prophet did not touch him. He vomited an apple that he ate 13 years ago, that his girlfriend that was sent to him from the marine kingdom gave to him to eat. Ate the apple, chewed the apple, swallowed. 13 years ago, the thing went inside and became a full apple back. But just after prayers in this meeting, the guy vomited the full apple. He had to video the apple, video everything, send it to his mom and his family member because they all know this girl. He has been struggling, looking for money to marry her, but never knew she is the reason why she is not making any progress. But the hand of the Lord delivered him just by being present in the meeting. I'm talking about a meeting that the prophet is just preaching. Why preaching? People that are looking for job will just be getting alerts of job in their phone. Lady came for one of the meetings in Port Harcourt. She has gone for a job in an oil company a day before she came. Nothing worked. The brother is working there. He couldn't help her. Her friend couldn't help her, but she was in service. After they say it has closed, somebody called her, said, send me your name. While she was in a meeting like this with the prophet of God. You that is hearing me, your own testimony will be louder. Get your phones ready. I'm about to give you some numbers for inquiries. The venue again is Chrysolic Hotel, 5A Peter Odili Road, Trans Amadi here in Port Harcourt. You can call any of these numbers for inquiries. 080-216-90667. Again, 080-216-90667. For the last time on this one, 080-216-90667. You can also call 080-825-42469. Again, 080-825-42469. For the last time on this one, 080-825-42469. I want to quickly give someone the privilege to hear from the prophet of God himself. Behold, Prophet Isaac Rema, the son of the Emeritus, Senior Prophet Hubert Angel of Spirit Embassy, United Kingdom.
Glory be to God. God bless you, Pastor Simeon, my son. I want to thank the Lord for the opportunity to be with you. This is Prophet Isaac Rema, son of the Emeritus, Senior Prophet Hubert Angel of Spirit Embassy UK, General Overseer of Palace of His Majesty Family Church. Thank you so much for listening to this broadcast. I believe you have been blessed so far. I would like to add briefly that if you are not born again, it is the most important decision you need to take in your life. Jesus is coming again. Never make a mistake about it. Whether rapture happens while you are alive or not, when you leave this world, Jesus has come. So don't play games with your life. Surrender your life to Jesus. Pray this prayer with me. Say, Lord Jesus, I give you my heart. I believe with my heart, I confess with my mouth that you are my Lord and my Savior. Thank you for saving me and for forgiving all my sins. I'm a new creature in Christ. In Jesus' name, amen. Congratulations if you prayed that prayer with me. You are a child of God. Please do let us know that you got born again on this broadcast and attend the Bible-believing church. And please do not forget to join me this Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. at Chrysolic Hotel Event Hall, 5A Peter Odili Road, Transamadi. Before you come on Wednesday morning, when you wake up, open your Bible to Psalm 68 and pray with it. Very important. Then bring documents, pictures of friends and families as a point of contact. Then take note of this. The last 7 days of the year, the Lord has instructed me to fast, and some people will join me. About 500 people that are hearing this broadcast are going to join me on that fast. So we're going to be praying online, and we're going to give you the information when you call. So if you are going to be one of those people that will join me in that fasting on the last 7 days of the year, you will call the numbers that I'm about to give you. They are the same numbers you have to call for inquiries concerning the meeting of Wednesday morning. These are the numbers, once again, that you need to call to get to that venue and to get directions. 080 2169 0667 080 2169 0667. One more time, 080 2169 0667. Second number is 0808 254 2469. 0808 254 2469. 0808 254 2469. My name is Isaac Rema. I see your face, I prophesy. You will testify to the glory of God.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Season's Bonanza. We wish to share in the good cheer of the season by offering amazing discounts on advert campaign on our signal, your premium talk, news and sports station. From the 5th of December to the 31st.
For every 3 slots you pay for, you get 2 free.
So hurry now and enjoy this best rates ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, Santa Claus.
Today, 95.1 FM would like to say
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
to all this season.
95.1 Port Harcourt.
Where do you think you're going to put a tree that big? Bend over and I'll show you.
Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, Merry Christmas.
Your number one talk radio station, 95.1 FM, would like to wish you happy holidays.
Well, pull up an ice block.
Family, turkey, sweets, ice cream, carols, cake, party, chocolate.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Oh, dear God, this should be outlawed.
Happy holidays to all Sundry from Today 95.1 Port Harcourt.
All right, happy holidays to all of you listening to Today 95.1 FM. Yes, it's that season of Christmas, and of course, it's the season of love, and it's the season where we get to travel to, all the places, mostly the village, and have some fun with relatives we've not seen all through the year. And very soon, we will be saying Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year! All right, I'm so excited about the season, but it looks as if there are no much celebrations going on in Nigeria. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it looks as if everybody's mourning or something. I don't know. But I'm going to make the evening more special. I'm going to be playing some old school jams, and we're going to be having some fun as I bring you some, some wonderful memories. Nigerian songs, by the way, because it's a wonderful way to start the week. It's Nostalgia Drive with Kalada on Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Yes, you are your premium talk radio station. Now, the first song on my list is Lagbaja, Never Far Away, because I'm never far away from you. Every time you tune your radio set at night, I am there. I am there. I'm never far away from you. So let's listen to Lagbaja's classic, Never Far Away.
That we shared together, baby, I cannot understand